sense. Why we have a thumbs down? How about now? How about now? What do we have now? Let's see. No sound.
Kelly, I'll just be here until we have sound.
Do we have sound yet? Let's see. Okay.
No.
Sound is back. I need a double thumbs up. Video and audio. There we go. We got a double thumbs up. So it's supposed to auto unmute, and it said it did, but it didn't. Yep, we are in.
I'm just gonna say I called it.
I don't even have that one on for you.
But I still called it that it wouldn't work.
You did kind of call it.
I did.
She did. She told me it wasn't gonna work.
I was like, the last thing I want to do is sit here and talk to people for 5 minutes and have it be like, oh, by the way, we can hear you.
But the problem is, it was working, and I didn't even do the whole double screen thing, so you could read the questions, which I need you to be able to read the questions. And hold, please. Okay. Now we fixed it. My volume is on. That's the problem. There we go. My volume is off. Now we have both. We're back to double thumbs up. Peggy got us. Peggy's here to help us out. We should put Peggy back here in the control room.
I am that lady from the Titanic 87 years later. We still can't figure out how to get audio and sound.
I just got a triple thumbs up, which is good. Because see, now when I pop a question up on the screen, on that big screen right there, Liz can see it. This little tiny screen here, you can't see it. So that's why, you know, and we got this view today. We got this wide view. Where'd Stella go? Oh,
she's hot.
She's down there. Stella's down there on the floor. Can you guys see her on the floor?
Yes,
over there.
Can see her.
Okay, good. Back to camera one.
She's the giant white thing on the floor.
Yep. Back to camera one. Oh, I forgot to change my shirt. We need to stop.
I specifically told you I don't appreciate the homeless look. Oh, good. Now we've got a bib. A baby and a bib.
Welcome to Syman Says Farms. Chai is fine. Chai is doing good. Chai, what's she eating now? She's eating like wet food? Half a pan?
I don't watch your YouTube channel,
I know you don't.
So I don't know what they know.
So I'll explain
I'll
explain what they
know. Okay.
So I am annoyed by society and like the fact it's not our village. I just want to make sure you guys don't think I'm mad at you. I'm just annoyed at the fact that bad news gets more views. So if I put a video out that says Liz is broken and then explain that you need knee surgery, it's #1 in our list. And I get it. People care about Liz. They're going to click on it, whatever. But when they just see a random picture of my face with a big coffee mug and it says just another day, they don't click on it. They're like, that's just another day. I'm not clicking on that. And that's normal. That's just the way life works. But it's kind of annoying because it's like there was a lot of good stuff in some of those videos. And then I know I'll get questions 3, 4, 8, 9 videos from now. What are you talking about? Well, you didn't watch the last one, you know? And it's kind of a challenge when you go.
I mean, I am speaking for my people.
For your people?
When I say we are busy.
Yes.
Okay.
100%. I follow
I can't watch every video that you do. First of all, I don't appreciate the ADHD moments, the squirrel moments. I like, just tell me the story. I don't have time. And it's like you're telling one story, it's taking a half an hour.
I try to keep my videos less than 15 minutes, but sometimes they go longer. My sweet spot's between 10 and 15. That's where I want them to be. I don't like it when they go 20s. I'm not a fan of the 20s.
So my point is
they know. I actually hid the chai moment in the last like 4 minutes of an 18-minute video that was not labeled anything about chai. They know that she choked. We're not 100% sure how it happened. She might get another x-ray. We don't know. But as of right now, she's fine. But for a good 20 minutes, it was scary as shit. That's pretty much what they know. And I was not there. I just, a third party explaining what happened. And you just never know when the shit could hit the fan. Sorry, that's 2 swears in the first 12 minutes.
Yeah.
More
I mean, all
like
we were
2
doing
minutes.
was coming upstairs. Angie and I were coming upstairs to have lunch after making some soap. And we let Chai out to roam because she's in her little pen while she can't be supervised. And then when we're in the kitchen doing our stuff, she can come out and roam. We also have to dog manage because she's not the problem. It's Piper. Piper has a problem when all 3 Frenchies are together. She doesn't have a problem when she's with Stella. She doesn't have a problem when she's with Chai. But when all 3 of them are together, Piper thinks that she has to protect Chai, and her mama bear claws come out. So it's dog management too, which is why Chai spends unsupervised time in her pen, which is, we've made it larger than any crate. So she's got a whole setup. But when we're out there and we're having lunch and stuff, she always comes out and eats.
Pause, please. That's the setup. You can see the colorful behind her. She has like 10 feet by 10 feet. She has tons of room.
She has most of our side of our kitchen, and our kitchen's rather spacious.
With 6 of us that live here, for those of you that are new, if you're new, seriously, put it in chat. If this is your first ever Q&A with us on our couch.
Where have you been?
Where have you been? Hey, where have we been?
That's actually a more valid question.
Yeah. Which coffee is in Aaron's cup? Oh, right now, none of them. Actually, that's funny with all the coffee. Squirrel moment. Go ahead. That's it. I was just saying, Chai's in our kitchen, and with 6 of us here, and then everybody else that comes and helps, the Uncle Kevins and the Angies of the world, Chai sees people all day long.
Yeah.
Constantly.
So she was out roaming, and usually close our gate that's in between the dining room and our front door area. And it was left open, but went around to where Hazel gets her food. I don't think she got a pebble of Hazel's food, but that's really the only thing. Or she found something on the ground and it went in her mouth, and maybe it caused the gagging. Maybe it caused some irritation in her throat. Either way, she came around the corner and she was like coughing a little bit, and then she went into throwing up. And then it didn't stop, and it just like kept coming out. But then she was like now gasping for air, and it was awful, just awful.
Yeah, it was awful. It goes back to the you never know anything. Basically, yeah, I don't know what to say. But
we took her to the vet, and they X-rayed her belly. They found a little something in her tummy that resembled bone or something similar. Where did she get bone from? Because she's in such a controlled environment. Maybe we thought maybe she got into the trash, but she didn't. So I don't know. She goes back in on Monday to get re-x-rayed, make sure whatever was in her belly is now not in her belly. The good thing was that they think that it was a small enough piece that it could be passed all on its own. So
right. Yeah.
But I think she still has some irritation in her throat because she's still doing some of this reverse sneezing that, well, Frenchies are known for doing.
Right.
But yeah, so she's fine right now.
She's good. She's good. I only answered that one because I saw it pop up in chat. So for new people, right, normally when we ask for a question, we ask for you to put them in question marks. Yes, I play with a bunch of fancy toys during Q&A. We have collected all the questions that came in via email. There's a decent amount of them. So they're all put in. They're all here. They're all ready to go. And we'll run through those. That's usually how we start Q&A. It's kind of like Regis and Kelly. You remember them? I don't even know.
Do, but
do they even still do it? Where when they start their show, they like bicker and banter a little bit about whatever they want. Like, how was your weekend? What'd you do? Where'd you go? Oh, I slept on my yacht or whatever. Like that kind of stories. And then they get into the show. This isn't really a show, but yeah, we talk about whatever for the first couple of minutes. And then we get into all the questions, and we run through all the questions that have been emailed in, most of them, some of which during pre-screening, if they didn't make the cut, they don't go in. And then we open it up and ask you guys some questions for you new people. You know, we can put them up there. And then a lot of ADD moments along the way. Yep. We got a couple people watching on Facebook, some on YouTube, and 0 on Twitch.
Okay.
You good? Oh, and somebody asked what coffee's in your cup. This is not coffee. This is, I made myself a Moscow Mule. You're giving me that look like I'm 80 years old. She's like, you're so old.
Oh, good. Okay.
It's pretty yummy.
Yeah. I have water.
She has water. Yep. Okay, are we on to questions?
I think we are.
You think
eating frozen pizza. So I have a suggestion. You should probably put that in the microwave or the oven. Because frozen pizza, I think, would require a dentist afterwards.
They're gonna hurt. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Let's get to some questions. Let's see what we got here. It actually wasn't that many. It was only 2. Yeah.
I saw some of the questions coming in, and they're pretty heavy. So I have tried to prepare myself for what's about to go down.
Right. So we'll mix it up. We'll try to mix it up. Let me see if I can start with a random question like this. See? We did now.
We're down here now.
Yeah, big screen down there.
So, Caitlin K was wondering if we sell our goats outside of Connecticut. So we have. This year, all of our goats went to families inside Connecticut. But yeah, we've sold goats as far as Maine. I want to say it's the furthest.
So now, for the legal side of this, we will sell them to you physically in Connecticut. I don't know why I said it that way. No, this is my first drink of the night. I was excited for Q&A. Were you? Like, I'm bubbly. I'm like, you seem tired. Yeah, she is not excited.
Listen, because I know a lot. It's kind of one of these things, let's rip off the Band-Aid, okay? Moose died and Giana died, and I feel like shit, but we're going to talk about it.
Yeah, coming soon. Yeah, I know. I understand. It's going to be hard. We're going to get through it. I know a lot of you guys want to know what's going on, and I'm trying not to. We'll just rip the Band-Aid off in a minute. But my point was, we will sell the goats in Connecticut, but it's that person's responsibility to transfer them across states. Because some states require paperwork and all that. We don't know that. That's for the buyer to deal with. Well, I mean, whatever. Like, if the state you're going to require something from us, then fine, we would help with that. But I'm not adding extra paperwork if I don't have to.
Say the sound is horrible.
Sound is horrible. Sound is weird. If to go across the state line, do they have to have testing for USD? No,
we do need testing.
There's some type of test. Yeah, there's some type of paper.
It depends. State to state require different things. So like that's why we never showed our goats outside of Connecticut. So like Rhode Island needed them to be tuberculosis tested. I swear it's still this. I guarantee it's still that.
I don't think that. Because that's not even from a microphone standpoint, that's not even on. And the fact that I just turned the air conditioner off, that should help.
I don't think that's it either.
Okay, fine. Then I will go with my mouse over to here again. Try to find it. And it doesn't make sense, but
it's like there's got to be a bad
there. Now that's turned off, and it's going to get like 100 degrees in here soon.
But it's like there's like a bad wire or something because it doesn't.
Oh, no, that's not right. Hello, hi. Okay, give me a minute because that just went to the laptop camera. See, you guys are here on the laptop camera. That was not what we wanted. There you go. Now you're back on the real camera. Question is, can you hear us? Yep, I see another double thumbs up. Sounds better. Well, should sound better. I could hear a pin drop in here now.
Are we ready now?
Can we end the different? There. Okay, that's better. Much better, much better, much better, much better. I bet you it was the air conditioner. Or the screen. All right, so we're going to rip the Band-Aid off and see where it said right here. I had to reword it a little because I ran out of space. But lots of people are wondering if you happen to find out what happened to Giana and the results from the necropsy, that kind of question. Unfortunately, I don't know the answer, and I would answer this to protect and help, but I don't know.
It's fucking worms.
Yep.
Which feels so defeating. Because we do so much to prevent a loss like this. And then it just smacks us across the face anyway. So, she was fine. She was fine like 24 hours before she passed. And then that morning she came down with diarrhea. And I've seen the impromptu update of us sitting under our gazebo and the House of Pie is in the background. And now I see it and I'm like, that whole time we had no idea that she had already passed.
Nope.
We had no clue.
The last Q&A while we were under, we knew that she needed medicine. We gave her medicine that morning, actually. And saw her that afternoon.
We rushed a fecal sample up to Dr. Kara, and I mean, how many times has a goat woken up with diarrhea? And we just rush the fecal sample up there, and we get a day or so before we get the results back, and then we start treating. They don't go from fine the day before to diarrhea that morning to passed.
Well, in our world, they normally don't. Now, the vet has said this year, and every year, as you continue to see, whether you believe in it or not, with global warming, and as everything keeps getting warmer and warmer, our summers are getting hotter. I mean, look at half the country sitting 100-degree heat. I mean, we had ridiculous heat with humidity. The goats are stressed out. On top of that, the worm load is not dying off in the winter. So she's like, you guys aren't the only people losing goats. I said it in one of my videos during that Giana thing. That never it doesn't
help me when she says stuff like that.
I understand.
Not an excuse.
I'm helping them understand that it's not just us. We just happen to be the only ones with 35 plus animals that share our dirty laundry, whether it's dirty or not. But it's not. It's the process of raising this many animals. Anybody with this many animals is probably seeing loss. Now, loss in a 1-year-old is not normal, but it happens.
Well, like we all saw last year with Winnie, is these worms take advantage of the young and the sick.
Yep.
And in this case, while Giana didn't have any underlying health issues, she was young.
Right.
And she was smaller than her counterparts. Like, she was small even for a yearling. So was there something else going on?
Right.
I don't know. Yeah, it's I think that just kind of kicked off the next couple of weeks of being like really crappy.
Right.
Oh yeah, her necropsy came back, and the most infuriating part about all of that was that, the description said pathology wise, like she had a moderate load of worms. And I'm like, moderate.
Like they say something too. I don't want to confuse them.
Moderate doesn't take a goat in less than 24 hours.
Yeah.
Like severe would, but moderate doesn't. So like I don't know how to process that.
Right.
Because it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Giana was born in what year? 1922?
Last year. 22? Last year, 22.
To who? Who was her mom?
Greta.
So somebody asked the question, it was actually Vicky, Did you ever find Giana's birth video? Because they can't find it anywhere. Like scouring the YouTubes.
I don't know.
And I think I did find it because I found a 2022 Greta birth video. I think I did. I don't know. I'll have to confirm. If it was 2022 Greta, that would be it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Greta had a singleton that year? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So yes, I think I found it. That's just the answer to that question. The other one was, I can't read these from that far away, so I got to lean forward. Here, we'll go right into this one because obviously this happened just a couple weeks later with Moose.
I think he meant to say 6 days later.
Okay. Yeah. And that was not worms.
Correct. So.
And I don't remember exactly what's worded there.
Right. So Claudia asked what happened to Moose. Are you going to check Grayson to see if he's in good health to breed? You know, not judging you and how you take care of the animals, just shocked how Moose passed away so young. All right. So that actually is a good segue into saying what Dr. Kara told us when Moose passed away. Because she asked too, like, how old is Moose anyway? Because, you know, you guys seem to have him forever. And I said he was 5 years old. And she's like, you know, just like the lifespan for a breeding doe is shorter than like your normal average life expectancy, a buck's average life expectancy is that much shorter because of how much stress rut puts on their bodies. So she said, you can expect a 5-year-old will have the health issues of a 10-year-old. For a male breeding goat. I was like, I did not know that, but okay. Which kind of makes sense how we lost Giovanni when he was 7, and you know, Moose at 5, Grayson is fine. He's 6, but and he's fine. Yeah, we ended up finding there was a lot that ended up going into Moose's ultimate diagnosis. After losing Giana the way we did, we started treating him for worms before a fecal test came back. And that's just because we didn't have time since he had already gone off of, well, he was slowly going off of food and water. Mostly food. At that time, he was still doing water. No. And so we just started supportive care. We dewormed him, which we used a very safe dewormer since we didn't know that's what it actually was. Just more supportive care, moved him into stall 4 where he could have a fan because it was so hot. Ultimately, we did have to shave him, which I felt terrible about because it was like emasculating him of his, Bobbio-ness. But it was so hot that I didn't want him overheating while trying to recover, because at that point I still thought he had a chance of recovering. We gave him fluids. The night before, we gave him fluids, and the next morning he still had those fluids.
Yeah, still in him. He wasn't absorbing the fluids, so that was a sign that he was not dehydrated anymore. And then
it wasn't a sign that he wasn't dehydrated, because he was severely dehydrated. It was a sign that his body could no longer.
Right. That's
hit everything. All the symptoms that we told Kara about, even during some smaller symptoms from last breeding season, she was like, "This sounds like it's his heart. Like he can't absorb fluids. That has everything to do with his heart. He was weak during rut last year. That's his heart. He was. I can't even remember some of the other things that she was like. This is congestive heart failure. You guys aren't getting him back." We were like, well, let's see if we can get him to eat. And so we took him out to the woods, and he could barely walk out there, but somehow managed to take himself on a tour of the farm. So he went, you know, all through the woods, all back behind Giovanni's pen and up in between Grayson and Asher and Yoshi's pen. And he hung out there. He just hung out between the three boys.
We have a picture of him hanging out between Asher, Yoshi, and Grayson.
Pen.
In between the aisle. Yeah.
And Grayson and Moose were eating this treat together, and then he walked himself back down the aisle and into his own pen, and we're like, okay. So then we just brought everything to him, and he laid down in the back of his pen, and we had to take a break. And it started raining, actually. I was getting to that. We had to take a break. We couldn't just like sit there with him. We just needed a moment. And so we went under the gazebo, and it started raining. And we were like, oh God, we got to go get Moose out of the rain. So I went over, and he got himself up. Right? He stood up. He was in his hut. Like, he was in his hut. Yeah. I didn't leave him in his hut, but he managed to get himself in there. Yeah, I guess I was like really hoping for a miracle there, because like Giovanni had given us such a miracle back when he got really sick several years back, and I was like, well, maybe he'll just, you know, snap out of it. Yeah. But yeah, the next morning, I called Kara and I was like, please come here. Like it's time. I can't watch him. And the plan was just for, I don't want to say scientific purposes, but for educational, and there was nothing we could have done, but the plan was to do an ultrasound of his heart. But by the time Kara got here, she was gone. He was gone. He had literally just passed like 5 minutes prior to her getting here. Right. And by that point, all the other symptoms were pointing towards this. And then the fact that his fecal test came back that it was not worms just gave us one more like, okay, so that makes sense then. Sort of. Like, he was super weak last year, didn't want to breed when a girl is in heat, and didn't want to climb up there because it was just too hard to do, you know? And then fast forward now 8-9 months into all this, like, it just kind of like the writing was on the wall. Like, there was nothing. And again, it was so hot that any animal that has an underlying condition, when it's that hot, it's gonna show its ugly little head, and then you just have to hope that you can get them through it, or, you know, unfortunately, you're gonna lose them. I say it to people all the time. People ask, especially during goat snuggles, you get a lot of the rookie animal people, not like this village, who knows animals pretty well now. But for anybody new, the summer is way harder than the winter. The winter, the cold is not. I mean, yes, occasionally you could lose a chicken in the winter, but the summer is a lot harder on the furry animals. The rabbits, the goats, and things like that. Summer's way harder. They're like, do you heat the barn in the winter? No, they love it. The winter, they don't care about the cold. It's the heat. Once you start pushing 85 in the humidity, it's like, it's hard. Just like for humans, when it's 85 degrees outside, for you Arizona people, like, that's not hot. Yeah, but okay, 85 with 85% humidity, it's like walking into somebody's mouth and trying to breathe. It's just, it's hard for us, and then it's hard for them. So you guys can see it in the barn. When I leave the fan on, they all huddle and like they sit in the same area because that's where the fan hits the floor. When the fan's not on, they sleep all over the barn. Right. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah. So it's yeah. So I'll bring it over to Finney and Fergie, the little ones. Yeah. Which I do not have a picture of. I should have brought in more pictures. I have some pictures, but not of Finney and Fergie. To join the herd at night. Yeah. It's tough. It's the big tots that are still pushing them around. That whole transition is going to happen on their time. Yep. It's not going to be anything that we can do for them. So that's on however long it takes the herd to figure this out. Yeah. That's the the only logical answer that you can.
Right, and the only thing we're doing is give it. This happened with Winnie and Winston too, but Winnie and Winston were physically bigger. Finney and Fergie are still kind of small.
Still babies.
So we got to get them physically bigger, which will take another month or two,
and remember,
or whatever.
It was the timing that Winnie and Winston came back into the herd too. They really came back into the herd once all the babies were born, and so all the moms had something else to preoccupy themselves with.
Right.
And then Winnie and Winston were free to just kind of hide in the corner. Finley and Fergie don't have that. They are the babies, and so now they need to be taught these lessons, but they don't need to be taught so forcefully. So it's not safe at this time to keep them in there with the herd. They'll figure it out, but it might. I don't know. It might take a while.
Yeah. So for now, they follow me like a bunch of little ducks when I have to take them in. And they're pretty good. Out is easier. In the morning to bring them out and bring them into the herd is way easier than going the other way because they get distracted by the grain that falls on the ground from Greta. She drops a lot of grain. I'm just going to click on this one. I don't know what it says. Yeah.
What do the goat beards feel like? I bet there's not a lot of stroking of the boys' beards.
No, when they pee on their face, we do not touch their beards. No, yeah.
Not at this time.
Yeah.
Some of beards in general just feels like longer extensions of goat hair.
Yeah, I would say they're not as soft. They're a little wiry, maybe.
It depends on which
on which goat. I saw a question pop up somewhere. I'm going to throw this one up there for educational purposes.
Mm-hmm. So can you please explain the difference between coccidia and worms? So worms is like intestinal parasites, right? You can actually also get lungworms, which reside where they say they reside.
In your lungs.
And it'll your animal will start coughing. This is goat related. I don't know really much about worms when it comes to like dogs, cats, horses, whatever. But yeah, there's lungworm, which I don't think we've ever had an issue with here. And then there's the big ones like your barber poles, your trichostrongyls, your humongous, your those tapeworms. And those ones are all intestinal parasites, and many of them will attach themselves to the intestinal wall, and then they're blood sucking.
Think of it like a leech.
Yep.
Microscopic, super tiny.
Times hundreds of thousands to millions.
Exactly.
So one little microscopic parasitic worm is not going to hurt your goat, but when you have thousands, hundreds of thousands of them all sucking blood and nutrients out of your goat, that's how you get a goat that is anemic. And then a goat that's anemic can't supply blood throughout their bodies because red blood cells are what carries your oxygen to all of your vital organs and, what you need for brain function and all of that. So those worms are really serious. And, like I said, a few aren't going to hurt, which is why we fecal test, because if, the goats are going to have, say, a couple hundred of these, that's fine. But once they start hitting maybe 1,000 to 2,000 is when we're like, all right, well, how does the goat look? And, how do her eyelids look? And then based on that, we'll treat. Coccidia is like this single-celled organism that will, it wreaks havoc on your intestinal tract as well. So coccidia is one of those things where it'll pretty much just chew the intestinal tract away, which makes it really hard for an animal to absorb any of their nutrients and can actually cause scarring of the small and large intestines, so that animal, even if it recovers, could have growing issues. One of the issues we had with Winnie when she was so sick was, okay, so she lived, but is she going to grow? And that's why we were paying so much attention to her weight after she came home from Tufts, because we had controlled the population of worms and coccidia in her, but we weren't sure if the damage to her intestines was so bad that if she would ever absorb nutrients again, which is also going to be a life-threatening issue. So both, more so coccidia, but coccidia and worms will both target the young. Coccidia, it's the same organism that affects chickens and dogs, and kittens. They, you know, it's just an opportunistic organism that will feed off of an immature immune system. So, but yeah, I guess
that was good. That was so good. I'm going to clip that out and use that in another video somewhere.
God, I hope I got it all right.
That's what I just emailed myself. I said, clip this section out at minute 34, 5 or whatever, make it a short or whatever. So I don't know if you said it because I was trying to be real quiet and I did pretty good. For those of you that know me, did really good. When you're treating with worms, we use dewormers that, unlike in dogs, we don't deworm on a regular basis in goats because they will become parasite resistant. Then the other issue you have,
they'll be dewormer resistant.
They'll be dewormer resistant. Yeah. They'll be resistant to the medication. Well,
and also we have multiple different types of dewormers, and there's not just one dewormer that will kill all classes of worms. There's multiple classes of worms, and you know, your white dewormers only do they're like stage 1, stage 2, stage 3.
It's great. When Winnie was super sick, I was knee deep in the rabbit hole on YouTube of learning dewormers, and I was watching some guy from like England talking about sheep, and he was like really super science, like molecular level, like everything, and talking about how these little micro bugs climb up the blades of grass, but they can only climb up like 2-3 inches. That's why you want to keep your grass at like 4 or 5 inches tall, which is the whole reason we redid our field and got the goats on bigger, longer grass and things like that. But it got real scientific about the life cycle of the worms. And some of our goats, when they have to be dewormed, we're giving them medication for 12 days because the life cycle of the worm is 12 days. So you have to hit them every day.
Well, or you're hitting them on day 1, and then 2 weeks later you hit them again.
Right. So they're all different.
There's a lot.
There's a lot to it. But the downside is, and in any biological scientific concept like this, we're trying to kill the parasite, but not the host. So you have this leech-like organism sucking blood from inside their body, and you kill all the leeches at once and they all let go. Well, the inside, now they're internally bleeding. And did you do that at a rate that was too fast for them to handle? And now the goat dies. So there's this huge safety balance between.
Well, then you have the die off.
And then
so now you have all these, hundreds of thousands of worms that you just killed off. They're dying inside of the intestinal tract and emitting this toxic level of and so that in itself can also be an issue. And we've never had it, but in really rare cases you kill off all of those worms, and now there's such a population in their colons and in there that it creates a blockage. We've never had it before, but you get this die-off of worms that creates like this ball of matter that can't pass.
So note to everybody out there watching the short clip now, never deworm your animal without your vet's supervision. There you go. That was my disclaimer, because we are not a vet.
No.
There you go.
Well,
and there's just so much, there's so much you have to figure out before you could just throw dewormer down them.
Well, you have to think about it. Dewormer is first and foremost a poison.
Yeah.
And so, like you said, you have to use it. A lot of times you're kind of stuck. You're like, this animal is so weak and so sick, but we know she needs the dewormer. But is she so sick and she's so weak that the dewormer in itself is going to kill her?
Right.
And so there's this fine balance, and it's. It can be heartbreaking. That's why we were so worried with Winnie, because, and why they started deworming her on such a slow protocol. Like, okay, we have to get her red blood cells up. We have to make sure she's well hydrated. We're going to start deworming her with the safest dewormer first and see how she does. And then 3 days later, we're going to do it again. And then 3 days later, we're going to do it again and hope that she tolerates, you know, the treatment each time.
Right.
There's quite literally nothing you can put out on the earth to make these worms go away.
No, you can't do it.
You can't. Like,
no, it's all over the world.
Trust me,
go
if
in.
We
right.
could.
We
would have already done this 10 years ago.
It's part of the. It all comes down to part of, like, we have bugs in our body too. You know, humans do, and if you killed them all off, we would die. Like, it's part of the
microbiome.
It's microbiome, right? Or the
So, and if you do use them, overuse a specific dewormer, they will create a resistance. In fact, Lucy and Sadie, just last year, were deemed resistant. They have a resistance to one of the medications,
right?
And so we know we can't use that one anymore. It has no effectiveness on
and
them.
We figured that by testing their poop, getting the results, hitting them with the dewormer for the week or whatever, retesting the poop, and finding out it's all still there. So now we know this dewormer doesn't work on that goat.
In that case, their population, one of them only went down, I want to say 35%.
Yeah.
Their load only went down 35%. The other one only went down like 10%. Yeah. So that was enough for Dr. Lindsay to be like, nope, they're resistant. We're going to change to this dewormer and see if it works. We did it. We pickled them again, and they said, there you go. It's they're not resistant to that one. They are to this one. Make a note in the file, and if they ever need to be dewormed with that classification of drug, we don't use the one that they're resistant to.
Yep. And somebody just asked about heartworm. I don't know if that's.
I don't think so.
I think it's different in dogs.
Heartworm is carried by mosquitoes.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure.
Yeah. And then the diatomaceous earth won't do anything in this concept. It's all the only way to fix this is less goats and colder temperatures.
Yeah, so what happens in the winter time is, like, all these little bugs, including ticks and mosquitoes and flies, but all of these microscopic organisms too, parasites, they live in the ground. And what we need as goat farmers and what other farmers need who raise livestock is these harsh, like below freezing temperatures for 30 days in a row during the winter time. We used to get that without fail in New England. We haven't had that in at least the last 5 years. And I'm saying below
and we're
freezing.
Talking for those people in Fahrenheit.
32 degrees Fahrenheit or below for a constant 30 days. That's what we need. No snow. I can't have it be warm and then snow, and now we have snow cover.
Because the snow
insulates.
Right.
So then it doesn't actually, and we need a hard freeze in the ground, and we just don't get that for long enough. This last year, like, my butterfly bushes all died. Thank goodness they came back, but they got hit real hard because we had that like minus 11 degree. Yeah. But it was for what, 2 days?
2 days.
It's not enough. So.
Right. That's what we need. Yep.
Nope. How are we going to burn the field?
Yeah, you can't burn the field. And it won't do anything anyway.
But think about it. We burn the field, and now they have nothing to eat all spring and summer long.
There have been people that have tried that. Now we're going to
dry lot them, and it just doesn't
work. Yeah, the whole burning thing doesn't work. People have done it.
We already have a solution.
Yeah.
Where, it might not seem like it. But I did tell Kara, I was like, every time we sent fecals out, she would come back and be like, they're clean. Send more fecals out. They come back, they're clean. And I'm like, wow, I really feel like I've got a handle on this. Our babies this year never had to get treated for coccidia.
Yep.
There was so much great. None of my moms had to be treated while they were pregnant, nor nursing, nor like.
Yeah.
It was like everything. We figured it out.
Yeah, Giana's the only thing that threw a monkey wrench into the whole thing, and there was nothing we could have done. Right. Yep. And it was a worm we normally don't see. Right?
No, we see this worm all the time.
Oh. I thought it was different.
Super common worm, but The problem is, and I'm not going to point fingers at Giana, she didn't do anything wrong.
Right.
We didn't get any time.
Right.
Like, by the time she came down with diarrhea, that morning, we collected the fecal and sent it to Dr. Kara. That fecal has to get sent out to Cornell or across the country to Washington State. And then...
And this is all FedEx overnight, so everything takes time.
But it's, you know, you're talking about a 48-hour return. Like, by the time I get her poop and we get results, it's about 2 or 3 days. And that's if USPS or FedEx or some isn't, like, in the middle of a COVID outbreak and they have less staff, or the lab is not overextended. Like, it all takes time. There have been plenty of times where I've said, okay, Kara, this is what's going on. She's not stable. She's not eating. She's not drinking that much. I gave you a fecal sample, and she's like, let's just treat. Like, this is what it probably is. Let's not wait. Let's just get the meds in her 48 hours early or 72 hours early. And, you know, sure enough, by the time the fecal comes back, that's exactly the medication that we needed to put her on. And we got a 3-day jump on it so that she's not even further down the rabbit hole. So you guys probably saw Aaron pulling poop from a handful of goats on Friday because Winnie came down with some loose poo. And, you know, not that we would treat any of our other goats any differently, but with Winnie's history, you know, there is some extra fast feet when we're working with Winnie. And there were some questions like, uh-oh, is everybody else okay? Because he's pulling poop from a couple other goats too. And our philosophy is, like, if there's anybody with any kind of question mark, that could be her eyelids aren't a 10 out of 10, you know, in the pinkness scale. So there's this whole scale. We talked about it. The FAMACHA scale. If you want to Google it, go ahead. If her eyelids don't look quite right, if she's having a hard time maintaining body weight, if she has clumpy poo, if she has runny poo, like, there's just a lot of factors that go into whether or not we'll pull a fecal for somebody else, especially if we're already pulling one for another girl. So then was our time to be like, you know what, Harper's looked a little thin. She always looks thin. I've probably pulled fecals on Harper and Greta, 4 times this season alone?
Easily, yeah.
And they've always come back clean?
Yep. We're spending more money and more time on fecals, even when people look like the eyelids look good. Like, we're like, you know what?
Do it anyway.
It's been 2 months. Let's pull her, like a spot check, you know, just to try to stay instead of, like I said earlier,
instead of being reactive, we're being proactive. And we're trying so hard to stay on top of this, to stay in front of it, so that we don't have a surprise like Giana. That when we get a surprise like Giana, it's that much more infuriating. Like, it hits so much harder when you've busted your ass to do everything the right way, and you've gone and done everything the vet has said to do with rotating paddocks and separating these girls from these girls, and keep your babies away from, you know, don't just have one big herd.
Right.
We have 4 separate herds
now. Right.
So it's like we're doing everything we humanly possibly can be doing. And these worms are just, they are I have found myself in the last couple of days. People are like, you know, whether I'm talking to somebody out and about, they're like, wow, that's so cool. You have goats. Like, I've always wanted chickens, blah, blah, blah. What's your best advice for somebody just starting to get into farming, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, don't.
Yeah, don't.
That's my honest knee-jerk reaction is don't, because of just where I am personally, where I am.
Fish. We'll talk about that later.
Over the last, 3 years. Just, I feel like just another punch, and how many more punches?
Right.
And not all of those punches end in losing an animal. Some of those punches are even scarier because you're fighting with that animal. Like, you're holding on hope, hoping that goat is also fighting just as hard as you're fighting. And it's sometimes some of the hardest times is we almost lost.
Mm-hmm.
It's the what if we did.
Right.
So.
Would you guys still follow us if we were just boat people? Like no goats?
No.
No goats, just boats?
I wouldn't follow me. You can
Right?
be honest.
No goats, just boats.
No.
There she is.
I wouldn't.
Come on. Yeah, I think they would. No. We can go retire, live on a boat near the ocean with like 4 goats.
Something tells me the goats wouldn't be happy on the ocean.
You never know.
Water.
We could find a yeah. No, I want goats. That person said no, I want goats.
See, I like your honesty because I know all the answers.
My career is over once the goats are gone. That's it. My whole self-worth is wrapped up in goats.
Welcome to my life.
Yeah, I know. I get it. Yeah. Oh, good. I got a couple people that'll still follow. They'll follow us. Goats or boats, they're still following. There it is, the picture again. Yep. Okay. I don't know what
We've done both of those things, Judy. So she said instead of rotating the herd, which we're not rotating the herd actually, would it be better to divide them into smaller groups in the divided pasture? They are exactly what we're doing. That's why we have House of Pie 1, House of Pie 2, Cassie's Castle, all the boys.
Right.
And then Cassie's Castle has multiple paddocks so that this grass can grow longer so that when they're out on it, they're eating the top 6 inches of grass and leaving the bottom 5 inches. Like, we're doing it all.
Yeah, we're doing
We rested the Gen Pop inside of Cassie's Castle while the girls were having their babies so that when we moved all the moms back and their babies back into Gen Pop, it would be 30 days of poop free, which kills the life cycle, like everything.
Yeah. There's only so much you can do. It's what happens, and you guys are watching it in real time. It's the economy of scale, right? The size at which we are in the 30 plus goat range, you're going to have 30 plus problems potentially, right?
I hate that answer.
Right. You're going to have more problems. So the bigger you get, the more problems you will have. It's normal.
I know.
Yep.
They say say it's normal. What's wrong with not being normal? What's wrong with being better?
Okay. That is not better. That's not better. That was the one we were at the casino and I saw that big statue. And
that's inappropriate.
I didn't. Okay, it might have been disrespectful. I'm sorry if that's some religious Buddha-like statue. I don't know. But I told the kids I kind of look like that. Hey, I'm going to always be a kid at heart. If you don't like it,
if you're easily offended, don't watch live chat.
Yeah, it's normally about goats, but not always. You know, just got to mix it up here and there. Next, we'll go back to the questions, and we will go to this one. Here you go.
All right, Lynn. What award did Jake get at his graduation? Graduation.
Yeah.
I said graduation.
You said wation. Graduation, not wation.
So this was the school.
Would you like my drink?
This was the school's graduation.
Yes.
But Jake is just now going into his senior year. But they did do whole school awards. He got a classroom award. I'm not really sure.
He got a reading award.
Thanks, I was getting to that.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were lost in the classroom award. I'll stop talking.
No, it was a classroom award that he got. I just don't know what the requirements were. Like, why did he get it out of all the other kids in his class?
I don't know.
And then the other one was a reading award, meaning he made the most progress in reading this year.
Yep.
From his reading teacher. Yep.
That was good. Next.
Vicky asked, will Liz or Aaron be our barista for Chaos Coffee during Snuggles?
You know, I have thought about this.
I make a terrible barista.
No barista. It'd be a coffee pot of some kind in a corner.
Serve your own.
Serve your own. Here's some cream and sugar. Oh, by the way, if you want to buy it, it's over there. Shameless plug. But yes, that might happen at Go Snuggles. Maybe. The problem is Go Snuggles, it's hot. Actually, that one time it snowed.
Yeah, on Easter.
On Easter. Yeah, in April. People were snuggling in the snow. So I don't know. There might be, though. I don't know. Not sure exactly how we'd pull that off.
Could you imagine? Hold on a second. This.
We just have to pick a flavor.
This is an eclectic crew of goats that just Tracy wants. Imagine this herd. Okay, close your eyes. Picture it. Close your eyes.
Okay, yeah.
Picture
I'm not closing my eyes. I'm afraid.
Because you don't trust me.
Okay, fine, go. Okay. That's not it.
Harper, so far normal.
Yep.
Winston, totally low key.
Not normal.
No, low key. He's
Winston's
a cool, chill guy.
In the ass.
He's
just saying.
This is why you get smacked. Winston is not a pain in the ass.
Okay, take him off the stand every morning like I do.
Sadie.
Oh, another pain in the
Ace.
Yep.
Yoshi.
Yep.
And Thor.
Okay.
Could you imagine that herd of chaos right there?
That's a crazy group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
Sadie and Thor together are trouble.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
Oh boy. All right.
Yep.
We have more questions we're getting to. I know I see a lot of question marks, but we haven't gotten through
these. Yet. So if we skipped you, we didn't do it on purpose. You asked the question at the wrong time.
I saw your question. I'm just not answering it.
Yeah.
Because we still have questions over here. We'll get to those questions.
Well, you just probably have to ask them again.
Yes. Well, I won't remember. Okay. Vicky asks again, if you aren't getting another breeding dog right away, would you consider putting Moose's hut in with Asher and Yoshi until you get the overhang built? It's not a bad idea.
Not a bad idea. Good idea.
I think they'll still use one hut though. She is like our store manager.
She's a backup store manager.
The shortest.
We just talked about that yesterday. We were like,
she was our.
Okay, to make a long story short, it was Goat Snuggle like Villager weekend, and we were stuck in traffic. And Goat Snuggles opened without us.
It wasn't just traffic.
It was crazy traffic, but Goat Snuggles opened without us, and Tyler and Vicky basically ran the store. Yeah, for about an hour. Not even, 10 minutes maybe, something like that.
Half an hour at best.
Yeah, so it's pretty funny. Okay, there you go.
All right, Jean, how is Dees Tooth? I hope she has no more issues with it. So the abscess popped. It was really gross. When it ended up popping, that's what it needed to do, by the way, because Kara didn't want to have to do it before the abscess was ready, because then it wouldn't drain properly. So you don't really want to drain an abscess before the abscess is ready. So it popped on its own. She rubbed it on something because I was watching her a day or so prior to it popping, and I noticed she was rubbing it on anything that would have it. So Rainy's butt, the wooden 6x6 post under the porch, the log, the playground, the slide, everything. So she it popped. Now there was like scab and dried pus everywhere, and it was really gross. And Dr. Kara was like, scrub everywhere around it, get as much of the gunk away from the outside, and then we didn't lance it. What did we do?
Little picture.
We didn't lance it. Flushed it. We flushed it. We got some chlorhexidine,
Yeah,
I don't know what we got.
Had to go to the vet. We had to go to CVS, and they looked at me funny when they said, "What are you doing with this?" I said, "Oh, we have a goat
wound on a goat."
And they said, "Oh, okay, here you go."
Yeah. So yeah, we flushed it with that for a couple days. Kept her on Naloxone, which is like goat Tylenol.
Yeah.
And I haven't had an issue.
I lost it too. I had a picture of the mouth inspection of this, but I don't have it anymore. And then I did just see that.
Gross.
I did just see that question come through real quick about the tie-dyed shirt being out of stock. I do know this. We don't house our shirts in stock. Let's have a little conversation here for all the new people. If you're buying soap, like you see some back here, or Swanky sauce, or even the Moo book, which might be behind my head somewhere, that stuff is all here on the farm. You order it, it gets packaged within 4, 5, 6 days, and then it gets shipped out to you. If you buy a shirt like this one or any other ones, they are made when you order them, and then they are shipped out to you, so they could take some time. The coffee is going to be kind of the same way. You're going to place an order. We're going to compile all the orders into one order to our coffee roaster. The roaster is going to make it. Then we're going to get it and ship it to you. So we're not going to have like old coffee sitting on the shelf. We will have a couple here that are not like named, so it is possible. You might place a coffee order and they'll go out in like 2-3 days, 4 days, whatever. But that all starts in September. This shirt is currently out of stock in a certain size. I can't remember what one, but we have no control over that. When it comes back, it comes back. The vendor will tell us, hey, the tie-dyed shirt's back. And we'll go from there. It is possible, totally up to the boss lady, if you want to offer that same shirt on a non-tie-dye layout.
They have multiple colors of tie-dye too, so I just didn't like those colors as much as I liked this one.
Right.
Because it was very summery, and
right.
The other ones were just very dark. Like it was black, gray, and white.
Right.
And I didn't like that. So, yeah, we'll have to see when the vendor comes back and stock with those things.
Yeah. Yeah, it should. Unfortunately, the shirt's very pricey because it's so much. They even questioned us when we have to approve every single one as they come in. Some people are, I'm sorry, it's kind of just the two of us. Yes, we have other people that help us with things like Angie and stuff like that. But when it comes to the computer and the back end, it's pretty much just us. And somebody can order that shirt specifically and be like, I ordered it like 5 days ago and I haven't gotten anything. And I'm like, oop, yep, forgot to approve it. Because the vendor always questions us on that shirt because it's just so much embroidered.
It's a manual approval.
It's a manual approval. It's not, So it's just one more thing that happens in the background. But it's just a fancy shirt.
It is. It's a nice quality though.
Yeah, it is. No, it is.
Like it's embroidered, which unfortunately does add to the cost, but it's one of those shirts that like lasts forever. It's a very most of our t-shirts are like this lighter weight material. This is a pretty heavyweight shirt. Anyway, Bonnie, who will you breed Grace and Evelyn to this year? These are questions as well as like, I don't know. I haven't gotten there. I don't know what I'm doing with the whole TOG program. I don't know.
So that brings you right to this question. That's why I popped it up on the screen.
I don't know that either.
Yeah. When is breeding season? Normally,
I do know
September. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I won't breed anybody before the last week in September, because then fast forward, that would put me into the end of February, and I prefer to have babies born like the first and second week in March. Just so it's not super cold. Right. Although lately, like we just talked about,
hasn't been.
It does. It starts snowing right when kids drop. Look at Sage and how he got his name.
Right.
You know,
Winter Storm Sage, right?
Winter Storm Sage.
Yeah.
Yep. The only winter storm to hit us, and it hit us right as Harper was pushing.
I don't know if anybody else feels the same way, but I feel like this is the beginning of the year. It's like it starts everything over again. Like it's summer. They're almost done milking. We only milk Harper at night with no machine. Tyler does it all by himself. Tonight, just so you all know, tonight is Tyler's test of me not even going out there. However, I got to move Finney and Fergie. You don't want to do that. So I'm like, all right, I'll move Finney and Fergie over. And then other than that, you're doing everything. And tonight's his test. And then I'll go out probably when he's done and just walk around and check everything. Be like, you didn't lock this gate. You forgot to put hay in this.
Yeah, you need to grade him.
Right, I need to give you a grade. But tonight's his true test. But it's kind of like getting closer to quiet time because eventually they'll stop milking in the morning. Closer to the end of August, early September, they'll be done milking in the morning even. And then you're right into like, okay, this is their time off. And then they go breed, and that starts the process all over again. It's like the start of the year. Breeding, holiday season, winter, kidding, goat snuggles, milking, start the new season. To me, it's the start. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, our season's about to start. You know, I don't think of kidding season as the start. I think of kidding season as almost the middle.
Right.
You know, yeah. Yep. There's something here. What is your? We just talked about that. We don't know.
questions. Have you ever thought about making a car air freshener? And I would like my car to smell like love is love. And will Villager Weekend continue? Negatory on the car air freshener.
Yeah, I can't say never because she said never on goat milk once, and I got a challenge to anybody out there.
I didn't actually.
Goat milk soap. Sorry, goat milk soap. Whoever can find the clip from the Q&A that she said, I am not making goat milk soap. I need that clip. I can't find it. I will send you a free bar of soap, no matter which soap you want. Pick one. I don't care. It could be a Winnie cupcake. I can't find that clip, and I know it's out there somewhere where she's like, I'm not making goat milk soap. She told you guys this, and now this is what we do for a living. So I can't say never on the air freshener, but I'll say it's not on the list, and our list has a lot of things, including coffee and way more. So no. However, that is definitely going to happen again.
Yeah.
So yes, we actually started planning that already today. So don't worry, more information to come soon. Potential date, what else will be different this year, that type of stuff. But yes, Villager Weekend will happen again.
Yeah.
We might, maybe we'll ask that later. Hey, I got an idea. I will put this up on the screen so I could talk to Liz for 2 seconds without you guys hearing us. Hang on, we'll go with this one. Oh, God, that's only 3 seconds long.
The Billy one, it's longer.
Billy wants 5, 6 seconds.
Oh, never mind.
5. I get 5 seconds.
Okay.
Okay, that was 5 seconds. That was long enough. I got my answer. We are good. We are moving on. Okay, so we're good on that question. So, yes, keep your eyes out. It'll probably be late April. It kind of all depends. Wait, before you answer that question. Villager Weekend kind of all depends on when are all these babies going to be born, right? Like if the babies are born, and it's weird this year because the first Saturday in April is like April 6th.
Yeah.
So do we start Goat Snuggles on March 30th now?
Nope.
I mean,
I'm saying that right now. No.
Yeah. So there you go. There's your answer. No, we don't. We start on April 6th. So that means we lose a whole week of Goat Snuggles. Yeah, I don't know. So we'll see when Villager Weekend.
We already did that question.
Whew, I am sweating because that air conditioner went off. We already did that question. Next one.
When you breed Mufasa with the La Mancha girls, do you think the babies will have flat ears or elf ears? I mean, historically speaking, they're going to have elf ears, but genetics is fun. Genetics are fun, and you just never know what you're going to get. So stay tuned. We've never done this before.
So, okay, this will confuse people. What kind of ears are those?
Okay.
And what was that?
So he is actually exactly what we're breeding.
Ooh.
He's the opposite way around. So dad is a La Mancha, mom is a Nigerian dwarf, a mini. Actually, she's a mini Mancha, so he is a second generation mini, and has elf ears. But you were also going from like a mini Mancha to a full size La Mancha, and like you can get any ear. Yeah. Anytime you're playing with that La Mancha ear,
especially when you put a cutie like that in part of the process. Yeah. That's Mufasa for those of you that don't know.
Sticking his tongue out at me because he's like, "Oh, I shouldn't be standing in here. I thought this was my dinner plate."
Yeah, he stays in there all the time. Yeah. Oh, it's a good question.
Yeah, what has happened to Jace?
Yeah, so Jace has grown up, I think. So there's two things going on here. And I wonder if any of them are watching because it's funny. Jace has grown up. He's pushing on 17 and a half, almost 18.
Right.
Has a job, has multiple jobs, lives, half an hour away roughly. And Tyler now has a girlfriend. So there's a lot of like, one's going this way, one's going that way. So Jace is like, I'm just going to stay home this weekend. pick up extra hours at work, hang out with some local friends, his boys, things like that. And Tyler's like, okay, Mom, can my girlfriend come over? Yeah, Jace isn't here. Because we have this rule, like, look, if Jace is taking the half an hour ride to come out here and spend Friday night, all day Saturday, most of the day on Sunday, and then go home, your girlfriend shouldn't be here both days too. Like, you got to learn to balance friends, significant others, this and that. So we're like, you can't invite Jace over for 2 days and then have your girlfriend here for 2 days too. So then Jace is like, why am I here? You know, so we're trying to help Tyler understand that. And I think in the end, you know, Jace is getting older and he's like, yeah, Tyler's happy. Let Tyler do his thing. I'm going to hang out with my boys this summer and work more hours, make more money. But he's coming back. I think he's coming back next weekend. Not this weekend, next weekend. We talk to him all the time. He's child number 5. Yep. Yep.
Ever-growing family.
Yep. Oh, speaking of Jace, he fits perfect into the Chaos Coffee conversation.
Oh, boy.
For those of you that don't know, Chaos Coffee is launching September 1st. I
didn't know that. This is news to me.
News to you.
What?
September 1st at noon, 12 different flavors. Yes, I got all your suggestions.
Hold on. Hold on. 12?
12, yes. We went with 12. Yeah, we're crazy.
I think we only did 10.
I think it's 12. No, because you have, okay, you're right.
Sure
you're right.
Only 10.
I think it's 10 flavors, but like French vanilla comes in both decaf and regular.
Okay, but that, no,
12
that was
different. Okay, let's do this together.
Oh, Lord.
This sounds like fun. Hang on, hold up. I gotta take these glasses off. I kind of don't like them. We are gonna go to the Chaos Coffee website because, of course, I have it ready for us.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
I should be ashamed of myself. I did marketing for a living before I got fired. That was COVID's fault. And then, wait a second. Where'd it go? Hold, please.
No, Vicky says it's 12. I trust her. She's our store manager.
Yep. Well, you trust her over me. Thanks. I heard that. It is 12. Breakfast blend. Breakfast blend and decaf. French vanilla.
You're not counting. That's
French vanilla
4.
decaf. I said that's 4 on the first row. 8. Oh,
damn,
please sign up for our email list.
Oh, okay.
Cappuccino, coconut cream, chocolate almond, butter rum. Bananas Foster, by the way, is amazing, and it's like last on the list for all you people. Chocolate raspberry is winning, not winning. It's number 3, and English toffee and Southern pecan. For those of you that are wondering, like, how is chocolate raspberry winning? It's not. So when you click on it, you can then go to this part here that says notify me, and you type in your little email and you hit notify me, and then our system will email you that, hey, this just came into stock, and we can use that data to know how much to order for the first round. And then after that, when you order it, we wait, and then we place our order, and then we do that. So hopefully we can minimize the amount of emails that says, I ordered my coffee 3 days ago and I haven't gotten it. Yeah, we haven't roasted it yet. It's on the way. So yes, it's 12, launching September 1st at noon.
Do you know who got really mad this morning? Tyler got mad because
I know,
because he wanted a specific coffee that he saw online
on our website,
and yeah, on our website. And I was like, oh, I don't have that one anymore. He goes, why? I was like, I drank it all.
Which one was it?
Oh God, it was like the chocolate almond.
I don't know,
something like that, or maybe it was Southern.
It could have been the pecan one. Yeah. Which, by the way, pecan's way. But so you guys are filling.
That was an amazing one, by the way.
Thank you for filling out the notify me. There's no obligation. You could fill it out. Like they're all going live at the same time.
All it's going to do is send you an email saying when they're in stock if you happen to miss like the launch time.
Right.
But also gives us an idea of inventory. So a lot of times, say, like soap, for example, I might. I do a bunch of testing with fragrances and designs and stuff. So like the picture that you guys saw of the sunflower soap, that was my prototype. I made one, I like made a couple, but that was the one that you're shameful. having all these pictures.
I always ready. Hey, so I'm a very visual person.
Anyway, I'll finish my story.
Picture aid.
So that actually was not number one. That was after we had done several. I had a lot done at that point. But my very first one was, it looked different. But if I had put it up on the website, I could have been like, hey, it's on the website. If you think you are going to want one, fill out the email, because it tallies how many emails are waiting to go out on that day, which gives us a general idea on about how many people are going to buy.
And we get that email every day. It sends us a report every morning out of the whole entire website. Hey, this is what your audience is waiting for. And I'll tell you, right, we'll maybe get into that conversation in a minute. But number two on the list right now is breakfast blend coffee. Out of the whole entire website, which is crazy. I did not expect that to be number two. It makes sense
because it's such a popular, like,
no flavor, very like
normal. So you can add whatever creamer you want to it, but it's not that it has no flavor. It's just a nice light blend.
There is no added flavor like a French vanilla. It's just a blend of beans.
It is the type of bean that creates that nice medium roast, which is just good.
French roast dark might come soon. At some. I didn't mean to say soon. At some point, people have asked. Is French roast dark on coming? We could have gone with like 70 options. We weren't going to do it.
So around Christmas, we'll have some that are like snickerdoodle.
Yeah,
we'll bring like the Christmas type flavors.
Go ahead. No. Christmas flavors, stuff like that.
Right.
We might even launch. We're looking at logistics. We like to share with you guys some behind the scenes type stuff. We might launch a one-time purchase. So right now, lotion of the month. I actually had to explain this to somebody this morning in email. You buy lotion of the month on July 26th, right? Say you buy it for a friend. You buy it on July 26th, and you put in the email that you put in like, hey, I'm buying lotion of the month, but I want you to ship it to Joe Smith, not me. It's a gift for them. They're going to get it all year. Someday I'll cancel it at some point or whatever.
That's how it works.
That's how it works, right? You buy it on the 25th or whatever of July. We ship that order right away. It goes out. Then our computer, actually our humans, Liz and I, change those dates to the 1st. Some of you we forgot to change, but
it should be.
It should be. The auto renew should change to the 1st. So now moving forward in August, September, October, November, moving forward, it's always on the 1st, right? If we forgot to change it, sometimes that happens. So that means your friend might be like, wait a second, I just got a lotion of the month and 4 days later I got another one. Well, that's because I bought it on the 20-something and it just set. You'll get it every month in like the first week of every month. Well, but you get billed. The person that buys it gets billed every month, and the person that receives it gets it every month. There's a new feature, and we're trying to learn how to use it on the website by Christmas. We're thinking about coffee for the year. It'll be 12 bags of coffee, one-time purchase for the buyer, but the receiver gets a bag every month. So the buyer can say, ooh, I want to buy this for a friend of mine who's addicted to coffee. They love it. They'll try anything. And I buy it. It'll be 12 bags times 12, whatever. Our bags are selling at 14 right now. They're discounted way down, like 20% off, I think I went. 15 to 20% off if you subscribe and save. But we're working on some deals, pretty good deals, where you can buy once and out of sight, out of mind, that receiver will get it. You're not getting billed at 12 times. You're getting billed once. And that receiver, the person you gifted it to, will get it for 12 months in a row. It's pretty cool feature. Might come soon. But yeah, breakfast blend. I was shocked that was number one. Chocolate raspberries up at the top there. Pretty cool.
Yeah, that was going to be another.
Yep. Your sunflower is not on the notify me list yet because it's not on the website yet. Coming soon.
A whole other product line.
Yep.
That on the way. Coming out that is also not on the website yet.
So you guys are probably wondering why I said Chaos Coffee and Jace. Jace brings a lot of chaos to the farm. Working on a chaos-like coffee video. You know, why we named the coffee Chaos Coffee and what happens around here. and I'm taking all the chaotic moments of like hundreds of videos and stringing them all together. Jace happens to be in a lot of them.
That's not a surprise.
Not a surprise at all. So that was where the little tie together came from. It was pretty funny. Okay, back to the questions because I think there are like 4 left.
Bernice asked, Winston's ears, why are they always sideways and not up, like droopy? That's just Winston, in my opinion. Like,
it's just him. Yeah.
He's always been my Eeyore goat. Like,
yeah.
He just has droopy ears. And normally I would panic over that, but like that's the importance of knowing what's normal for that specific animal. So like if anybody else in the entire herd had ears like Winston's, I would panic.
We would fecal test them like every week.
But
Winston's
normal for Winston. Like
just
that's just he's always had very heavy ears. I don't know what it is.
So I'm going to ask a moderator help me out. I've seen that question pop up like 8 times already. The difference between first cut and second cut hay. I think we created a video on YouTube that explains it. So you got to go on Wild Goose Chase, drop the video in here, but you can't go watch it now because then you're leaving the live. You have to like save it for later. Yeah. But to make a short answer is first cut is the first hay that was cut during the season. So usually it's cold in April, right? It's cold in March, it's cold in April. By late May, early June, they're cutting, the farmers are cutting the field for the first time of the year. Then it grows and they're cutting it a second time, end of July, early August. And that's second cut. Second cut is going to be way, I don't want to say cleaner, but way fresher.
More nutrient.
It's like cutting your grass for the first time in the winter. After the winter's over, it's got all that dead grass in it, and it's not as good as it cuts later on in the season. So that's the difference. Your first cut is going to be more yellow and straw-like, and your second cut is going to be heavier and greener. And filled with way more nutrients. But I know we made a video on it once. I just don't know where it is.
We did. Vicky already found it.
Awesome, Vicky. Good job.
I kind of like to compare it to like second cut is fresh, never frozen fish, right? So like you've got
good point.
Then your first cut has been frozen, but it's now thawed out,
right?
Because it's first cut. So it went all winter long. It was frozen at one point. Then in the spring, it started growing a little bit. And then by June, it's cut for the first time of the season. Then you've got the growth from June to August. And now June to August, it never froze. So it's always fresh. So it changes the nutritional value. Once the grass goes over winter, it goes dormant. It loses a little bit of its nutritional value, which is why we don't feed second cut to pregnant animals, because it's too high in calcium, which can throw them into milk fever and stuff like that. So it's fresh versus frozen.
That's it. And this is the first year, for those of you that have been around a while, it was hard to get second cut for us. These girls are milking right now on first, which is a challenge for them. That's why they look maybe a little skinnier than we want them to look, because second cut is better, but we couldn't get it. They're doing great. They're doing fine, but we would rather them be on second right now. And I just got the text message like a day or two ago that he has second again. So now we just need to come up with lots of money moolah to buy second cut, because it's expensive. Next question. I saw that somebody asked about Winston, the car. That's
not where he currently is.
That's not where he currently is, but that's where he was when we picked him up. Tyler is itching to put in the new fuel filter. I am like so in summer mode where any day it's nice out, we are not in the garage because it's 100 degrees in there. So I'm like, Tyler, unfortunately, it's not going on the road this summer. It's a more like fall project. Like we should be working on that when it's snowing and raining and like all bad days. And unfortunately, I just haven't done fun things that can still become content. We've just been so busy. So busy. We traveled and we went and like, you saw it right here. We went to the coffee place, you know. That's the type that and yes, we have gone out on the boat, but that takes us away from the Winston the car. But we're getting close to putting the fuel filter in and going from and seeing what we can do with it, because we're both itching. Tyler and I are. Jace keeps asking. I'm like, Jace, you're not here. Like, but yeah, it's still there. It's definitely still there. I did see the hip question. I'll get back to that in a minute. Another question for you.
Are the goats able to roll onto their backs like a cat or a dog? There's also a video if Vicky wants to drop it
Vicky,
below.
go for it.
While they can, they shouldn't, and it's awfully embarrassing.
It is.
And then we pick on that goat for, well, this is now going.
What's the name of the video? How's she gonna find it?
I don't know, but it was Moo teats up turtling
in the
pool.
Gosh.
Remember, she was pregnant with the triplets at the time.
You have to go way back.
It was.
I don't even know how you would find it.
It has to have it at least got clipped out, and it's on the Simon's Farms Facebook page.
It could be on the that might take some time to find. Yeah. But yeah, that was definitely.
You're gonna dump your whole laptop.
I saw that. I saw that. Yep.
Yeah.
That was a tough one. I do, but no, they should not. Technically, for those that watch us and our live stream, watch our live stream in the barn and stuff like that, we have like a 20-minute rule of them even laying down completely on their side. It's not good for the rumen. They should be. I just looked to see if we had the live cam up, but we don't.
It's happened all the time, like where goats have, but not as bad as that one time with Moo. Like on their side is one thing, kicking and flaring to get back on, upright is another thing. But like she was like full on pizza.
Yeah. I saw Grayson, right? Our boy goat. Yeah, I saw Grayson do it the other day. He got stuck in like a pile of his own like hay that he drops on the ground, and like the way the ground is shaped. And I almost had to go over there and help him up, but he got up, he made it. But Winnie's fine right now. I just saw somebody else.
Yeah, so last night I noticed her poo went back from, I feel bad like we're answering questions.
We're all over the place. I have 2 more left.
Winnie's poo went back to pelleted.
Yeah, and we have the fecals out for Winnie and a whole bunch of others.
Yeah. So I expect to hear back.
Yeah.
Monday or Tuesday.
Right.
If Harper's taking the year off, will she stay in Cassie's Castle? No. So the plan would be for anybody who is not going to be bred to go to House of Pie 2 or 1. And anybody who is going to be bred will remain in Cassie's Castle, with the exception of Winnie and Winston.
They stay there all the time.
All the time. They're not going anywhere.
Somebody asked that question earlier.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think.
Oh, she found Asher rolling over.
Yeah. I think the same thing happened to Winnie that happened to Dee like a week prior. Because remember, Dee woke up with diarrhea, but that was the day her abscess had popped, and she and Dr. Kara was like, we're not gonna panic. She's like, I know under recent circumstances would have us like panicking over this, but we're gonna try not to panic. And if she still has diarrhea come tomorrow morning, then we'll start pulling fecals and we'll start treating. And
and her diarrhea was in and out in 12 hours.
So she's like, she probably just has an upset belly. Like goats get that too. They don't all just get up and die on you. Like, because Kara is very matter of fact like that. I was like, thank Kara's what I needed to hear. But then of course when you called me, I was driving Olivia to gymnastics that morning, and you called me and was like, Winnie has diarrhea, and of course. The first thing out of both of our mouths was,
F. Yep. That's exactly what I said out loud in the barn when I noticed it. And I wasn't sure if anybody else heard it. And I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
I just said that out loud.
And it was the same thing I said.
Yeah.
So I texted Kara, and I was like, because it's Winnie, I'm sending you a fecal. I'm not going to wait 24 hours to see if it clears up.
Yeah.
And since we're already going to be doing 1 fecal, we might as well do.
We got to drive an hour round trip. I'm like, I'm bringing you more than one. Then my tax guy calls me in the car. He's like, "Is now a good time?" I'm like, "Sure, why not? I'm in the car with a bunch of poop." He's like, "What?" I'm like, "No, seriously. That's like, you asked me, did you really spend this much on a vet this year? You know?"
I was like, "You have no idea."
You were like, "Oh my God.
You have no idea."
You like 5 figures. And I'm like, "Yep, we did." He's like, "Okay, we will leave that." I'm like, "No, it's true. I'm driving there now with more poop." And he's like, "Okay." Yep. Yeah. So you said a key word. So you have like 12 key words in the back of my head.
Okay.
And when you say them, I put them on the screen. Like you said the word sunflower earlier. And somebody in chat said the word Winston. Winston the car, right? You said the word Olivia. Okay. I'm about to post. It's coming soon for those of you that follow the other channel, the one where I'm at, day 538 in a row of 36, sorry. 536 videos in a row. I caught this picture the other day and I could not help but take it. I will probably show this picture at her wedding.
Okay, I'm ready.
That was just so, okay, so I took photography classes in school, like in college and stuff. And like, there is 0 Instagram filters on that picture. I did not use the like portrait mode, none of that. That was 7 o'clock in the morning, passed out. Like, I took it. I'm like, oh my God, I will remember this photo forever.
I haven't.
Like, it will, like, she's 9 now. She's getting so old. I'm posting her birthday video soon with one. So I like editing. I'm like, oh, today's Saturday. We're taking the day off. We're going to go to the farmer's market. Oh, yeah.
Like, you didn't show me that picture just before now.
Yeah.
But I took this picture of her on the boat in a similar situation.
Yeah.
But no filter, no nothing, just her.
Just her passed out on the boat. So she's either like going a million miles an hour at gymnastics, or she's sleeping.
She's a million miles an hour.
Right. Like 18 hours a day at a million miles an hour, and then passed out for the rest of it.
So she ended up doing 25 hours of gymnastics this week.
This week alone.
This past week.
This was training camp week.
It was training camp, and then at the end of the week, she was only supposed to have a 3-hour day at the end, but then we added an extra 2 hours because it was her turn for beam choreography.
Yeah, she did beam choreography. She might be going to Texas for a competition.
She
is going to Texas. So it's getting crazy. But yeah, it was that picture. I took it in the morning, and it was like.
And now, get this
like,
too.
I didn't even know what I was gonna do with that photo, but I was like, I'm gonna throw it in here for tonight's Q&A just in case like there's a way to talk about it.
Now she's at a girlfriend's house, a gymnastics girlfriend. So it's a girl from gymnastics.
Yeah.
They are having a sleepover tonight because Simone Biles is competing for the first time since the 2020 Olympics.
Yeah.
And so they're watching it on TV together. I was like, you guys are so cute. Yeah.
All right. Let's see. What else? Go back to questions. Hang on. Back to questions. All right. Here's one more. So, yeah, my point was Olivia's birthday. I'm behind on a lot of videos. So I got a lot of I know I do a lot of one-take wonders. Like, this is what's happening, like, today or what happened yesterday. Like, you guys get data within, like, 24 hours of real time. Pretty soon, you're just going to get a lot of old shit. Like, a bunch of it. Like, I'm just going to take a couple days off of one takes. And you're just going to get a lot of, like, Olivia's birthday. And, like, Kevin and I built a gazebo in a pool area 2 years ago. I never edited it. I'm going to edit it. Like, there's just a whole bunch coming. But when I edited her birthday video, I literally dug this coming soon. Maybe tomorrow. I don't know. I dug back and I found the first YouTube video Olivia was ever in. Some of you in this audience have been following her since she was 3. Like, if you do the math.
She's
like
9.
And she's 9 now. Like, you guys remember her, wee bitty, right? Quinn too, but like Olivia, like, oh my God, like the growth between 3 and 9, Like, it's crazy. And there's a scene in the video where it goes from her being 3 to her being 9, and it morphs from like one to the other, where the eyes stay the same, and then like it's pretty cool. I thought it was pretty cool. It's fun. Editing's fun, and I did it this morning, so that's coming soon. Here's your last question in the whole like thing.
Yeah, this Q&A is making me feel like I don't know very much, because the same answer as before. I don't know.
I don't know.
Do you know when the House of Pie and Cassie Castle switch will take place yet? Will it be done at the same time? Yes. Like,
yeah, always the same time.
We'll always line up the, anytime that we know there's going to be a change up, we'll try to do it all at the same time so that we only have to do it one time.
Right. You want to disrupt your herd the least as possible.
Yeah.
So there's no reason to move Cassie Castle goats over to House of Pie and have House of Pie overcrowded. And then 4 days later move the one? Right. No.
Unnecessary stress on.
It'll be a day when Kevin's here, maybe Jace is here, a lot of hands because you're moving goats back and forth or whatever.
Yeah.
And then we just got to keep an eye on if anybody's kind of trying to beat somebody else up pretty bad. And we have to like put them in a single stall or something. Normally, like even Gus didn't get beat up. When he got moved over there, he was fine.
Smooth.
He did some running in circles and jumping over the water trough. But once he found his little home under the hay feeder, he was fine.
He also, as expected, needed a lot of lessons. He didn't know how to live in a herd of goats, and that was clear and evident. He didn't know how to be a goat, a nice one.
Right.
And I would argue to say, like, I would trust Olivia and Quinn and
he's much nicer now.
Out in House of Pie 1 now.
Yep.
Even with Gus out there, because he has not had a hair out of place when it comes to being around people since moving out.
He hasn't reared up on his back legs at all since he's been over there.
Yeah.
Here's a flower question for you. Oh, maybe not. What was that? Wrong one. Where'd it go? Right there.
What is that pink and white bush by the chickens and ducks? So that is called a Pinky Winky.
I was gonna say it, but I didn't remember.
It's called a Pinky Winky hydrangea tree. So they make it in a bush. We got the tree version, and that is Ari Jane's hydrangea tree.
I don't have a picture of Ari Jane. I didn't know that was coming up.
Yeah.
You got me on that one. Here's a good one.
Is Bonnie still nursing? Yes. Yes, she is. So for you guys that don't know, now is the time where like we're done with our questions that have been written in. So now if you want to use those big question mark emojis at the beginning of your question, and at the end helps too. That way we can easily spot your question in chat. That would be great. Any progress on shampoo and conditioner bars? Unfortunately, no. So a lot of time has been spent in curating this Christmas launch that's coming up. And I got a little frustrated because I felt a really big artistic block. Like I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I couldn't find fragrances that I really wanted to work with. And there were a lot of just creative bumps in the road. So I stopped taking all of my back medicine so that I could think clearly again.
So that goes back to how's your back? Oh my gosh, the questions are coming in so fast. Yeah.
We don't get to your question. Let us answer.
Yeah, just don't ask it multiple times right now. We'll try to scroll through and quick. Maybe we'll do a rapid fire. But go ahead, talk about your back and your knee.
Back and knee. So my back is better. I'm definitely doing more things with less pain. It's still very stiff. I don't have full like range of motion. I still do things with my back in mind. So I move a little weird, but that's because that's the way, I need to squat down. I need to get up. That it might not look natural. It might look like I'm in pain. I'm not actually in pain. It's just how I have to move to not be in pain, if that makes sense. My knee, both of them are now horrible, but the one that's having surgery is particularly bad, but not as I don't know. I should probably get a second injection before so that I can have some relief leading up to the surgery, but I don't know. I've always been on like, just push through it, it'll be fine.
Get another injection. Yeah. Especially because we need to get all of Christmas done before you go into surgery.
Yes. Well, that's what I'm.
So another injection is required.
That's what I'm working on now is all of Christmas.
Yeah.
So I mean, Christmas is not it has not gone off swimmingly.
But we have a beautiful one right there.
That is trigger word, apparently.
You did say a trigger word.
Yeah. So that was not supposed to look like that when I made it. Actually, the white part was supposed to look exactly like that. Those ones are actually very hard to get to look uniform. So each and every single one of them is a little different. And they won't all weigh the same amount. So there will be a wide range of normal for that one. But they are all covered in those little gold beads. And I'm only about halfway through those ones. So Gianas and I think Claudia also asked if Grinch soap is coming back. It is not.
Not. So if we ever bring something back significant like a Grinch soap, it's probably going to not be the year right after we did it the first time. It'll be a year later than that. It has to be, because from a business standpoint,
I want to be able to make new things.
We want to be able to make, that's from a creative standpoint. She wants to be able to make new things. But from a business standpoint, we launch Grinch again. We've seen it happen. We'll sell 10 of them. People will be like, I already have that one.
I already have that.
You know, we got to wait till our audience grows. So 2 years from now, we can launch Grinch again and sell 100 of them. Selling 10 doesn't make sense. Because we've launched things that we've only sold 10 that you guys said, I want this, and we've done it. And we're like, yeah, that didn't work. But that happens. We know Grinch works. We could do it again. But let's, just like Lump of Coal. Lump of Coal was amazing year 1. Year 2, it flopped to the point, not flopped. Year 2, it sold, but to the point where we have so many more, it'll be here this year too. Once Christmas comes, we'll bring back Lump of Coal. It'll almost become a staple at this point. Lump of Coal will. But, yeah, Grinch one won't come back.
Grinch, artistically speaking, took up so much time too. So then it would close the door on doing some of the other things that I wanted to do this year.
Yeah. So
this year, it's a very
aggressive,
ambitious lineup. I'm not sure. I mean, so far, I have started 2 of the soaps, and neither one of them were executed the way I thought they were going to execute.
Which just means we have more for the mystery box as we work our way through.
We don't, because remember when Tyler said something smelled
I'm
really...
really a mess.
Oh my God.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry. Continue.
Do you remember when Tyler said the dumpster smelled really good? I didn't even make the soap.
Oh.
Nope. The oil, the milk, the everything but the lye was in that. I made the first batch and it went sideways so fast.
Oh.
I was like,
it didn't even turn into mystery box soap.
It couldn't.
Okay. Never mind.
The dumpster is now fragranced.
Oh.
It smells lovely.
That sucks because fragrance costs a fortune.
There was nothing I could have done about it because it was all pre-made.
I get it.
And I wasn't okay. Apparently it's not fine.
We're moving on.
But he's just saying we're moving on now.
Yeah. Is Bonnie still nursing? We already read that one. What is it? Hazel, stop it. By the way, Hazel's in Olivia's birthday video. First scene. And thumbnail, I think. Will D, you got a question here.
Oh, will D go in with Mom in House of Taiwan? Yeah, probably. She doesn't really have, she doesn't have any other family over in House of Pie 2 or any really close girlfriends that I would say, no, we should probably keep them together. Dee and Danica will be very happy together. So
physically, House of Pie 2 is bigger from a square footage standpoint, but House of Pie 1 is where she should be. Next question, rapid fire.
What happened with the white butt bee.
Oh, they're still there. So I sprayed it with a bee spray, and we let it go for like 2-3 weeks, and now it's bigger than it was in the beginning.
That's
so it didn't work. I have to spray it again. Go again. Any progress? We talked about this a little bit. Any progress on the shampoo and conditioner bars? No, because Roll-On Perfume is about to launch. I don't know if you want to talk about that at all, but soap. Oh my gosh,
face bars.
This was a little strong.
This is why I don't drink.
I do. Yes, face bars. We did that instead of conditioner and shampoo, but that will come. Just like
it'll happen. It's just on that list that
right.
Is
That's what I was just gonna say. That
I've got like a lot of ideas, but I don't think there's a lot that goes into a new product.
There's a
new product line.
Yeah.
It's not just making the product. It's everything to make sure that like when you make that product in bulk for your customers, that you've already done your market research, you've already done your R&D, and that it's a product that is nailed down.
I wish I had pictures of it. We've been testing coffee for like a year. I have pictures, and maybe I'll put it in some video somewhere, of a paper plate with like coffee like all the way around it. Like, this one looks different than that one. Why is this one ground? This one smells. This one doesn't taste good. This one, like, yeah, it's taken a very long time.
Well, and we actually toured a couple.
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
That thing's making you talk a lot.
I talk a lot all the time.
I know, but it's more. Yeah, we toured a lot of places too, and made sure that, you know, you're kind of trusting somebody else's quality in your own business. So you have to be really careful. So we didn't like their quality, or like one place, I'm not going to throw anybody on the bus, but one place was like, oh, well, ours is free trade coffee. And I was like, what the hell does that mean?
Yeah.
And we went home and Googled it, and essentially just means you pay more for it. But
don't get me wrong, free trade, I get it, I understand it, but it was like, it's like buying, okay, I don't know how to say this politically correct, but it's like buying everything. Have you ever bought a marshmallow at Whole Foods?
It's organic.
Don't buy marshmallows at Whole Foods.
It's that word, organic. We were just watching a documentary yesterday, and it was about foodborne illnesses.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest foodborne illnesses comes from your leafy green vegetables like spinach and romaine and all of that.
There's more illnesses in that than
and specifically speaking, it was the organic. And he didn't even say the word organic. He said the word mostly organic.
Mostly organic,
which means it's not even really organic.
Right.
Because what organic actually means is that they use less pesticide. It's not that they don't use any. It's just they use less. It's the same thing with the free trade coffee.
Yeah. So it just, And notes of chocolate. We're like, no, we don't want notes. We want it flavored. We're like chocolate people. Yeah. Sugar, chocolate, cream, like that's what we put in our coffee.
Does it look like I skipped the creamer?
No. Like this, I could bring the picture back up again.
No, we're not going to do that.
Belly.
No, we're not going to do that.
No, hang on. Okay, sorry.
What was
that? So I brought up the picture. Okay, he's going to embarrass. Are we allowed to embarrass our teenage children live on YouTube?
Yes.
Okay, good. That was Jake, his first day of work at Wendy's with the visor on. He goes, Dad, I look stupid in this visor.
Because you're wearing it stupid.
And I'm like, because you put it on wrong. And he was fighting us to get a haircut. He now has a haircut. It looks way better. He even said it the next day with his haircut. He goes, the visor looks so much better. I'm like, yeah, because you cut your mop on your head. I'm like, that mop was not working for you with the visor.
Yeah,
he goes back again tomorrow.
I only say that it's appropriate
it's so funny
to embarrass your teenagers, because we have to remember that when they were toddlers, they were the idiots embarrassing us in the middle of Walmart and Target.
True.
So we were very.
Tyler got lost in Target once. We set off the red alarm alert. Like, they brought me up to the Dad, come with me. I had to go up front, stand with the Target employee, and she's running around like half in tears looking for Tyler, and I'm standing there like, nope, not my child, not my child. No. He's like, just stand here and make sure nobody has your child. I'm like, oh, great, this is fun. Yeah, it's not fun to set up the red alarm alert in Target.
Code red.
Because Tyler goes running around missing and hides inside.
He knocked something off a shelf while we were Easter shopping.
Yep.
And an employee saw him do it, and he got scared and went and hid underneath the baby clothes rack.
Yep, hid underneath the clothes rack, and then we found him. Yep. Yeah. So, okay, back to your questions. My point is, the list is very long. It does not have car air fresheners on it, but it does have conditioner and shampoo bars.
It has had them on there for a while.
They have been on there for a very... The problem is, too, it requires a lot of new equipment.
Yeah.
So there's a huge capital expense.
Yeah. One of the biggest issues is like...
Oh, white puppies. We already talked about that.
It requires different ingredients.
Different ingredients.
So now you have to bring in brand new ingredients, and you're like, but is it going to work?
Right.
Is it going to be something that we... So it's just... Yeah.
Yeah, so how's my hip? It's not 100%. It shouldn't be 100%. It's only been 7-8 months, roughly 8 months. So I'm actually getting another MRI with the fluoroscope or whatever the heck it's called, where they have to put the liquid. Yeah, it's a big ordeal.
It's with contrast.
With contrast, so they're going to shoot that big needle and run the fluid, and then an hour later I do the MRI and all that. That's coming up just to make sure we didn't ruin it. I didn't do
he doesn't think you ruined it because your pain is coming up. Your pain is higher in the hip. He said my trigger word, which was the iliac crest. Yes. And I was like, no.
Iliac crest is what Tyler broke, way up high in the hip, way up here. And my pain is coming. There's like some pain coming back. So yeah, new MRI on the way.
Yeah, they're going to do your knee too.
Yeah, and we're doing another. And because the hip, the knee has taken a lot of abuse, so we're doing an MRI on the knee as well. Yeah. What's
Do you think
this?
Charlotte will recognize her granddaughter, Bendy?
Oh, we already talked about that. I don't know. I doubt it. No.
It's just like...
I don't think so.
It'll be interesting because... Well, let's see. I'm trying to think of a mom. No, the only one that would have had happened to would have been Danica, but Dolce went into House of Pie too, so Danica never really met her to know enough to bond. So I was saying, like, have we ever had a granddaughter and a grandmother meet without her having babies?
Yeah, like, no.
Because like Genevieve had a baby with Greta, so they knew the auntie and the niece and the granddaughter and the they figured out that the family bond there because they both came back into Gen Pop with babies. So they're like, oh, this is your baby, this is my baby. Hey, okay. Yeah. But yeah, they haven't met, so it might be that she recognizes the smell. Goats are smart.
I don't think they're that smart.
Goats are smart.
Yeah. Okay, here you go. Why don't you decorate cakes? I think that's what it said.
Well, see, I don't have that much time.
Yeah, no, that all comes down to time. So we have a challenge. Carol, you just hit the nail on the head, sort of. Yeah. Right? Okay. People might think of us as a little weird.
No, you wouldn't say.
You wouldn't say. Because, okay, I was trying to actually work on this.
I'm pretty sure they're referring to you.
Well, they already know I'm weird. I'm a kid at heart. I'll be a kid forever. I'm weird. That's one of my superpowers. Cake decorating is not something that will match our brand. However, how do you explain our brand? Like, she could do a cake. You could decorate it. You could do it with the talent you have and all that stuff. But at some point, okay, I'm going to go back, way back. This is ADD, sort of. Somebody said in a podcast once, this is going to be real weird. If you say no to this, meaning like, no, I'm not going to bake a cake. I'm stopping you. I'm not going to bake a cake. I'm not going to decorate a cake. You're saying yes to this. So in other words, you're saying no to what somebody else is asking you to do, but you're saying yes to what you need to do, what's in your heart, what's like, saying no is more powerful than saying yes. It was really philosophical and like floofy thing, but it made so much sense. It's like you need to learn in the business we're in, where we have roll-on perfume, soap, swanky sauce, coffee, shirts, blankets, like you YouTube channel. Like there's so much. It's so hard to explain and understand. Our Google guy that helps us with Google is like, I can't help. He's like, I don't know who to send to your website. Like, are we going to pay all this money to get coffee people there? No, probably not, because coffee is one of the most aggressive industries in the world. That'll be something we do for pretty much villagers and not spend a fortune on ad revenue to try to, on ads, because you'll never win. Maxwell House will win all the time. You know what I mean? Like, don't dump all that money there. Like, soap. Yeah, that's another very challenging, right? So it's like, at some point, you just got to say no to a lot of things.
Well, I don't think she was really
no, I know
like,
that.
This is a new business
venture.
It was more like, have you ever, like, maybe this is something that Liz used to make cakes, and that's where it could have been a story of, like,
you never did a cake,
no,
right?
Of course I never did a cake. You did an Elmo cake
I did an Elmo cake once.
I definitely micromanaged you during that cake.
You did.
But I didn't have a hand in.
No, I remember I had an Elmo cake mold, and we flipped it over, and I just went dot, 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 dot. I don't think I could ever find that picture of Jake and his Elmo cake. Yeah, they're right. It's hot in here, and I don't know if the drink is helping. It was yummy, and it's Saturday. Okay, next.
I didn't just say the F word again.
No, you didn't.
Okay.
No, she didn't.
Sometimes I don't know when these things pop out, and I'm looking, and I'm like, oh, did I just say that again? How are the cats making out in their new enclosure? They seem to love it. Lead on whatever.
I was trying to click, and it wouldn't click. Go ahead.
That was it. Oh. How expired is too expired for the lotion? I have a bottle that expired like 4 to 6 months ago.
You're fine.
Still smells good. Does it actually expire?
No.
The FDA requires us to put it's technically a best use by date.
Oh.
It's empty.
They're empty.
Idiot.
They're empty. They don't have lotion in them. Oh, that's funny. I didn't know that. We so smart. Okay, continue.
Anyway, so when I first started making lotion, this was now like 9+ years ago.
God, I found one of those.
We still have it.
No. Oh, you might have one by your computer desk.
Yes, and they're still fine.
A vanilla fig, I think it was.
No, it's not.
What was it?
That's not original.
Wasn't it fig or something?
No, that was not an.
You got another question. I'm waiting on you. I'm here. I'm still 100% here. I'm clicking away.
Okay. Do any of the soaps have sandalwood? There is a sandalwood vanilla that we use. I think it was, well, I know it was a limited edition, but I can't remember if that was the one I used in like Bear Hug or. I don't think we have it anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, so. Sandalwood vanilla.
What's in our face bar? I thought one of them.
That's it! Sandalwood vanilla.
Thank you. See? Still here. Drink's not that bad.
Sandalwood vanilla, though, but which one is it? Is it our turmeric? No, not the turmeric. Now you're spilling down your face?
Yeah, I spilled a little. But,
oh but it's not the turmeric one, because that's.
No, I think it literally says soothing sandalwood right on it.
Yes, that would be the one.
Thank you. See? Aha! Thick guys think I'm drunk. I'm so
Carol's like, and I used to be the village drunk.
I'm so not drunk.
Yes, you are. You got holes coming out your lip.
Not at all.
You're a little loopy.
Not happening. I'm hot. I turned the air conditioner off because I appreciate the audio quality better than my comfort.
I am about one stage away from heat stroke.
Oh, like, it's hot in here.
I'm
Guys,
now shiny.
Look at these lights. It's like being on stage. It's like you're melting Look at Stella here.
Stella's about to melt right
about
off
to
the
fall
couch.
off the couch, and I turned the air conditioner off.
Okay,
all for you.
Roll-on perfume.
For you, 350. There's only 359 people.
Only?
There were 400 and something earlier. They all left.
Yeah, they all have plans.
Or they're like, Aaron's loopy. I'm out of here. Okay. Roll-on perfume.
Tyler's doing chores.
Is he?
Is he really out there?
Is he really out there?
Brianna must have
went home. And I told him tonight's his night. Oh, he's got the 2 little babies. They'll figure it out. Hopefully.
You're answering your own questions.
That's how
you're settling your own self. You're like, oh, but this. Oh no, he'll figure it out. You're doing it.
That's how efficient.
Hold on, the training is working because I have said for a long time now, don't sweat the small stuff. And he's snowballing over here, but he's also calming himself down. Good for you. All it takes is a Moscow Mule.
One drink. that was just one.
Put your bib back on. Remember at the beginning?
Stop. Leave me alone.
Leave me alone.
You're going to think I'm great. I got 1 heart. I saw that.
They're all
Thank
laughing
you. Love you too.
They're laughing. Put the smile. You know you're laughing.
Oh, yeah. It's hot.
Why don't you splash a little bit of that on your face?
Stella, help.
She'll bite you if you get too close.
She will. Can you answer this lady's roll-on perfume question
no.
so I can breathe for a minute?
Okay, roll-on perfume.
Oh, Quinn, frozen camera. I got it.
How do you sell the roll-on perfumes without samples?
You just have to trust us and read the description. Perhaps
send samples before purchase.
Can't do it.
I can't stay in business if I'm giving away all of that free product.
Actually, wait a second. A lot of our roll-on perfumes, if you bought lotion before, does it say it in the description? Like, this is the same scent as blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. So I will, when I write the descriptions, because I haven't done that yet. I haven't taken pictures of that either. Yeah. So photography and descriptions
this week
and website work is all on the schedule. So we can get that up there. But so with our lotions and our soaps, if you go into the ones that are like more seasonal, heck, even the regular everyday ones, they will say pairs well with, and that is generally because they are the same fragrance,
right?
Or have extremely close fragrant profiles. But yeah, so you guys don't know this yet, but all of our roll-on perfumes are named after our goats. So we've got Ari and Funkle Winston has his own roll-on perfume. Winnie Rose, Danica Grace, Queen Lucy, Sweet Charlotte. There's I want to say there's 10 or 12 of them.
So the whole point of the roll-on perfume concept, correct me if I'm wrong, was you want to smell like the lotion, but you don't need lotion. So you're going out for the evening or something, you roll on this perfume. It's not for me. Do you have a men's one or one that's kind of men's-like? Yeah. So it's like a cologne or something like that. It is, from a business standpoint, the most expensive part of the lotion process, which is the fragrance. How many ingredients? They're written on the side of the box. 2.
There's only 2 ingredients.
There's a carrier oil and the fragrance. Blended at a certain percentage that Liz has designed and came up with that makes it smell good and not too strong, not too light.
I have to follow
FDA. Well, no, not FDA,
it's
but
the IRSA. It's a safety and
it's some safety standards, right?
Because it's fragrance oil, so you can't use the fragrance oil directly on your skin undiluted. So you have to have a carrier oil, and there's only a certain amount of percentage that your fragrance can be. And
then the packaging is top notch. And I hope on this post, for one of the first times ever, you put all the packaging photos, show people what it's going to look like. Because we bought a custom box for it. We got the glass enclosure, the little roll-on thing, the cap, the plastic thing. Can you tell I'm the operations guy? She's the creative. There are let's see, glass, the ball itself, the plastic thing that holds the ball, the cap, the plastic, the label, the box label. There's 8 to 9 different parts for each roll-on perfume. And it's the most expensive product, because the fragrance oils cost a lot. So it's like, get rid of the goat milk and all the other ingredients, and I just want to smell amazing. That's literally what it is.
So like in the summertime, I find myself using far less lotion than I do in the wintertime and the fall, mainly because I'm hot and sweaty. The last thing I want to do is put on lotion. But I still want to smell nice. So this I can roll on right into your pulse points, which if you don't know what pulse point is, it's like anywhere where you have thinner skin and your pulse is right there. It helps. Like these are your pheromone points too. And you just dab it on and like you're good to go. And it doesn't feel greasy. It doesn't feel heavy. And it's nicer for summer months. And
talk about summer, you could leave it in your purse, in your car. Who cares about the heat? It can handle anything, pretty much.
I still wouldn't leave any natural product
that's
in a car.
True. You probably shouldn't.
You can put it in your purse, but like if you can, like
don't
take it with you.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's it's gonna be nice.
So it's a neat little. It kind of reminds me of lip balm.
Tyler smelled it and he instantly was like, "Can I have one?"
Yeah.
And it was mainly for his girlfriend, but both of the boys were like, "Can I give this to
their significant others?" Right. Yeah. Any new swag this Christmas year? Yeah, there probably will be. So Chaos Coffee is actually coming out with a whole swag line. So there will be a Chaos Coffee hat. There will be a Chaos Coffee t-shirt and a Chaos Coffee mug, probably a tumbler style if you want to make iced coffee, and a hot one for hot mug. So at least those 4 items are on the way. Plus whatever you come up with for regular, just shirts and blankets and of course a calendar and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
Rainy has one too. It's called Rainy Cloud because that's her her first and middle name.
Right. Yep.
I just saw What About Rainy Days perfume.
Yeah, she has one.
Rainy Cloud.
Yep.
Will we get a coffee emoji?
Yeah, we're working it. So the way YouTube allows us those for you guys in the membership, those emojis that you use, I think we have enough members. It all depends on how many members. So we get rewarded for the more members that join, and the more members that join allows us to create a certain number of custom emojis. At one point, we were maxed out. We lost a lot of members, and I don't know if we're at a level where we can add more because Chai needs one, and we need a coffee one.
I think
Chai has one. Does Chai have one? I can't remember if Chai had one.
I'm pretty sure Chai has one.
Oh, I knew Piper and Stella.
Also, not sure about the 3-year badge because that's something that
YouTube
is in control of. They actually dictate how many months, how many month badges we get. And when they launched the
membership.
Oh no, Chai doesn't have one.
Chai doesn't.
When they launched the membership, I don't think they realized that there would be members that would be members for 2+ years.
For that long. So I actually got invited, and I don't know how true it is, but I got invited to YouTube's like back end creator whatever group. I had to fill out a survey and a bunch of junk where they might ask us as creators of YouTube, what features are we looking for that we're not getting? And I actually just filled out another survey, another thing yesterday, the day before. So hopefully at some point they said it could include conference calls and everything. I don't know if it ever will, but if it does, like that one's on the top of my list. Like, come on, guys. It's so easy to program. Like, why can't we have a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10-year badges? Like, YouTube YouTube is really trying to go after 2 things at the same time for the back end of YouTube people that care. They're trying to go after TikTok with the shorts, right? The 1 minute, and YouTube did more views on short videos than TikTok did last month. So YouTube's starting to beat TikTok. And they're going after Twitch, which is a live streaming platform. Twitch is for the people that stream for like 12 hours a day, and for 12 hours a day they'll play video games, and they have an amazing tight group audience. YouTube hasn't figured that out yet. We are an amazing tight group audience, but that's not normal on YouTube. So they're trying to steal items from Twitch and bring those features to YouTube, and they're all this stuff. And when we got like this email day or two ago or three, whatever, and I was like, sure, I'll help. Like, that's number one on the top of my list. It's like, why is this limited here?
Right.
And yes, you could type that like you guys just did,
right,
and it'll actually say how many months.
Right. You only get that once a month, though.
But you're allowed that once a month, I think. A free. I don't know if it's once a month. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Yep. Because even I am a member. I've been a member for like a year, I think. I don't know. Yeah. I'm not sure. Hang on. Let me see if I can do this real quick. Free member chat milestone. Ready? Hey, hello. Send. There.
Oh, you're almost gonna get your 2-year badge.
I'm almost up to my 2-year badge.
Yeah.
Woo, woo. 2-year badge for me.
Yeah.
Here's a question.
Are you using StreamYard?
Yes, that is what we currently use right now. So what we're streaming to you on the platform we use right now is StreamYard. It's going to Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch all at the same time. I have one person on Twitch watching, but Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, and StreamYard is our platform that we use. I could bring on guests and do like all that split screen stuff with a guest, but we don't do much of that. Yep. I use like 10% of their platform.
Yeah.
We don't use much of it. To the point where I've thought about getting rid of it, but I really do like putting the questions on the screen. It's kind of worth it for me. Instead of just like doing a live stream without being able to do that.
What does the sunflower smell like?
Oh, that's a good question. I saw that come through earlier. I didn't.
So I played around with a lot of fragrances, and I was really upset because there were a couple of fragrances that said sunflower, like they smelled like sunflowers. Now, I've been around a lot of sunflowers, and to me, they don't have a fragrance that I would want to wear.
A fragrance
it's not very
sunflowers
floral.
don't smell
they
that
smell
good.
Very earthy and green, and I'm like,
yeah.
So that's what that fragrance smelled like, and so I decided to pass on that. So I went with a ripened red raspberry smell. So I figured it's still kind of summery, but kind of like that sun-kissed smell. So it can blend into more of like an early fall. So that's what it's.
Yep. I had this question on the screen and took it down while you were talking. Well, will Charlotte recognize?
Oh my God, he's at it again.
I'm just putting up questions. I'm not reading them before I put them.
Try reading.
Well, my glasses are pretty bad. There you go.
Is it possible to make a powder, like baby powder, out of goat milk?
So kind of, but not really.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No. I'm just gonna say. I mean, I'm sure you can. I just don't know what application.
Yeah.
And after all of those people who like got cancer from baby powder, I wouldn't want to get it in your lungs.
And no pigs this year. That's probably next year. I'm thinking we missed it for the year.
It was a blessing.
It was a blessing in disguise that we missed it.
I wasn't upset about it.
But neither was I. And right now the pig pen is full of a bunch of junk that I don't want in the garage. So really, whoa. If you were telling me I'm getting pigs in a month, I'd be like, oh, great. And then I'd have to, no. But eventually, we will have to do another round. For those of you, I get some of you don't appreciate this, but we do still try to raise as much of our own food as possible. We're getting close to having to do another round of chickens, pigs, all that, so we can refill our freezer with all our own food, but not anytime soon. I don't even think it'll be this spring coming up. Probably skip another year, you know. But who knows?
Do you want to do one more, like, screen thing?
Screen thing. Sure. Like a chit-chat, yada-yada thingy? Yada-yada thingy? Let me see what I can find. Should I go with the... I can go... We had to have a little off-camera discussion. And that's how we do it. So I don't know if you guys picked up on it. We're going to change topics here for a minute. It's possibly Black Friday, somewhere during Christmas. Liz has had this creative block. Kind of creative block, creative idea going on for a very long time. I know so you guys like that Winnie one.
Yeah. It wasn't necessarily a creative block. It was more of I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole
so
right now because I'm not ready.
So what she means, that was perfect. What she means by I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole, I mentioned it in a YouTube video, and I don't think any of you picked up on it, or at least from the comments I read, nobody really picked up on it. We're getting close to filling our freezer with this year's milk, right? In the back of that freezer, we're now 2023. In the back of that freezer are 2 5-gallon buckets of milk from the year prior to Moo passing away. So those are the only 2 buckets of milk in our freezer that have Moo milk still in it, which means it also has Sadie's and Charlotte's and Amy's and Lucy's. It's the old crew of Moo milk. And at that time, I remember we were making stuff and we were feeding Winnie and Winston all this milk. And then the year started to go on and I said, hey, we're down. She's like, no, skip it. Leave it in the car. I don't know what I want to do with it. I'm not ready. And now we're getting, so we've been secretly working on numerous ideas on how to like finally last soap project with Moo's milk ever, because Moo was Liz's right hand. I almost said right hand man, but you know, you could see the company over the past 3, 4, 5 years with the Moo book and the Moo Stuffy and the Moosage bar, which by the way, when I told you earlier, number 2 on the list is breakfast blend coffee right now. Number 1 is the Moosage bar. Everybody's still waiting for the Moosage bar to come back. It's not coming back. It's never coming back.
Yeah, that's not what we're
that's not what we're doing. We're not going to redo the Moosage bar and bring that back. So she's been bouncing around with ideas. We've been working with custom mold people that can create a custom mold, and that didn't work. And we almost traveled out of state to a silicone conference, like all this crazy stuff to try to figure out what can we do. And I'll let you explain it. I'll just say Angie and Liz cried in the soap room the other day because I think they figured it out.
I think we figured it out. It isn't ultimately like what I had envisioned, but
thank you so much.
It might be just right.
Yeah.
So
you wait until it feels right.
Well, and that's the thing is like when Angie and I was playing with, she's hot.
She's fine. She'll probably get down if she's hot.
I was playing with she is hot.
Yeah.
I was playing with some piping stuff and for Christmas and just technique wise, I was playing around and different mediums as far as like, are we going to pipe this? Oh my
gosh, tell me. I'm going to turn the air conditioner on and just keep talking.
Yeah. If we pipe it directly onto like parchment paper, do we pipe it onto a face bar? Do we do another cupcake? Like all this stuff. And I think for this particular soap, I mean, I think we found it. I'll probably just post a picture when I have definitely decided like this is it instead of talking about it. But we are playing with, we're either going to launch this for Black Friday or around the time of Moo's birthday.
Oh yeah, that's true. You're right. I'm off camera, but you're right.
He's right here. Yeah, so I don't know if it's either going to be Moo's birthday or what would have been Moo's birthday, or which is in March, early March.
The air conditioner thinks it's hot in here. It won't even turn on.
or it'll be for Black Friday. It depends on how the rest of Christmas soaps go.
Right. It's all timing at that point.
If it's, you know, I also have to get this done before my knee. So, or maybe it's something that I can do.
Oh my God.
On my knee.
I read what she put under there, under that super chat. Thank you.
Yeah, just for tissues for the soap.
They will need them.
It's,
She told me the story. I've been working on the operations side of this, talking to so many custom-made mold companies, everything from small little operation on Etsy, which you got to understand in our world, like, oh, great, you can make one, but can you make 200 of them? And these people are like, well, my equipment's so small, and I can't put this major project on someone that can't keep up. And then these major companies are like, yeah, that's a $20,000 mold. And I'm like, I can't spend $20,000 on a mold. Like, so it's been a year, if not two. And then finally she said, hey, I think
two because she hasn't been gone for 2 years.
But
I wasn't willing to even talk about this during the first year. It was just like, nope, don't want to know about it. Don't want to hear about it. You know, yeah, it's something that just really in the last, I would say, 6 to 8 months, that I've allowed myself to think about. So, I like where we ended last week with this project. Yeah, but like it has to be right because like once the milk is gone, it's gone.
Right. Yeah.
And that'll be kind of emotional in itself. Is like this has to be perfect because you don't get another shot.
Right.
Yep.
I'm gonna play this just for those people that put out that super chat. You might not want to watch. Okay, I didn't click that. That one was fine. That one was good.
Oh, it's just baby.
That one was good.
Baby crew. Yeah.
Okay, so wait a second. We played that big long Winnie one.
I don't think the Moo one is.
I don't think we have the Moo one anymore here. Right. Okay. So that one was good. Okay. I forgot about that one. Yep. The air conditioner would not turn on because well, I think it's a power thing. I have to like click.
But
I don't know.
Hot in here.
I know. We're almost done.
Okay.
We got to go check on Tyler anyways. Let's see what we got coming in for the last couple questions. If we missed anything lately. No, I don't think we have. Yeah. So the only other thing. Oh, Aaron, do you video of making what?
Oh, did you have a video of you making the cat stall?
You know what? I actually don't. I've been so busy with things like driving Jake to work, picking up Olivia from gymnastics because she has to make the soap. I can't make the soap. And Christmas is so heavy on fancy soaps, not like simple suds I can do and lotion I can do. I need her in the lotion room. So I'm doing the, you drive Olivia, so I've stopped.
I do the morning stuff.
I've done more one take wonders and less when it came to the cat stall, I was like, no, I just got to get this done. I just got to get done. I've been talking about it for a week and I didn't record any of it.
Yeah.
Nope.
Any updates on the babies who went to their new homes this year? So I have heard a lot from Gucci, Sage and Basil's family. I see her regularly, so I always ask for updates. And Gucci is living with a bunch of geese.
He is. Did I make that video yet?
He is being harassed by the geese.
Oh, I can imagine.
In a funny way, but they target Gucci specifically, and they'll peck at his back legs, and he'll turn around, and they'll be like, ha 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 ha, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
it's funny. I have not recently heard from Duncan and Tucker's family. I assume no news is good news. Puppies, I have heard from several of the puppy families. They're trying to get together for we're trying to get the puppies all together for their first birthday, which is in a month from tomorrow.
Yeah, that'll be YouTubed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be cuteness overload with big old Maxwell.
I saw a recent picture. Did I show you the recent picture of Java?
No.
Whose name is now Hazel, which I find weird because we have a Hazel. Yeah, let me show you this picture of.
Oh yeah, I forgot to say that we breed French bulldogs too. So let's see. There's soap, lotion.
Look at this. You would think that this is
barbecue sauce,
Piper.
coffee. Oh my God, that is so. Let me go to camera 3.
It's a bad
lighting, but still, that's Java, right?
That's Java, but it looks like Piper.
That so looks like
Here,
Piper.
I have more pictures of her.
That's good.
And
I liked it actually with that lighting.
The
looks...
alpha. Look,
oh my God.
She got spayed. That's Piper right there.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep, that's funny.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's coming soon. A little puppy play date with all them.
She met chickens for the first time.
Yep.
Oh yeah. So yeah, we're trying to plan that out. And I heard from Mr. Bean's family. Yeah, everybody's doing good.
Yeah.
And obviously Maxwell's doing great.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Piper's little emoji just popped up there. Yep. Yeah. Oh, what's this? What?
Screen grab.
May I get a screen grab of me in
Finney and Fergie's pen?
How?
I don't know.
How are we gonna get a screen grab of you and Finn?
Well, she was in Finney and Fergie's pen back when she visited, but that would have had to be grabbed while the cam was live.
You can only grab that while the cam was live for the first 24
Do you want to
hours.
come back up?
Or else it's gone forever. You coming up?
Spring your feet. There you go.
There you go. We're almost done. We gotta go check on Tyler. Yep. So I saw. How's your finger? You know what? My finger's not bad. You guys want to see it? Here, I'll show you. Close your eyes if you don't want to see it. If you don't want to see it, close your eyes. Right there. You see it? Oh, which way do I gotta go?
The lighting is
there
terrible.
You go. Lighting's terrible, but there it is. You can see where it was cut like in half, or that tip, and they sewed it on, and it's fine now. I actually noticed, like, look, you could, like, on a finger that you did not hurt, right? You're fine. Remember, I broke the bone on the tip of the finger and cut it off. I could actually tap it now.
Oh.
I could not do this. Like, a week ago, I couldn't touch the tip of that finger. So, yeah, it's getting better. I did catch it on something today, and I felt it. It was like something weird. Like, it went like this way and, like, caught the refrigerator door or something stupid. But, yeah, it's way better than it was. You know, I mean, it's been 3 weeks, 2 weeks?
I don't know.
2 or 3 weeks, I don't know. But you guys saw that it was Asher that did this to me. Yeah, in the end, we were like, there's no way gravity did that. Like, well, and in the end, he stood on the hay feeder and caught the finger between. Yeah, it was. I would say, I have to say, that's probably one of the worst pains. And not the pain of it happening. No. The pain of the doctor fixing it in the hospital was way worse than the actual accident. Yeah. Way worse. Which, by the way, the chaos video I'm working with has that accident in it, which you guys have never seen. You can't really see it because it's so far away, but you see me run like a crazy man. Because that's pretty much all I did. Yeah.
She's like, yeah.
She's like, guys, can we go to real air conditioning? All right, we're getting out of here soon, Stella. We're going to go very soon. All right. Wow. Good. I think we're done. I think that's it. We're going to go. Oh, Liz. The new cats are doing. I think. Go ahead. Yes.
How do you think the new cats are doing? When will you know when they are ready to be let free? Okay, first of all, the cats are doing great in their new pen. They super confident. Banks is was all over that pen in investigating, and my biggest hope was for them to be able to get up and see the goats, so that once they are let free, they will know, but maybe hopefully have some more confidence
right
in going to get water over with the goats.
right
When will I know that they're ready to be let out? I mean, they're ready. I'm not ready for them to be let out. With Miles and Shiloh, we went so slow, and a lot of that had to do with them coming home at winter time. But there's no rush to this, and they're happy where they are right now. And I think because they were so feral, I want them to really feel comfortable. I am
They're still hissing at me when I come in, and I'm the guy
that might never change. It just might never change, and that's fine. I just wanted them to know, be completely baby steps. I think it's better to go slower than to just let them out of their crate and be like, okay, good luck.
And I think what we're gonna do, correct me if I'm wrong, we went from the crate to this big pen. Now we're going to take the crate out of that big pen so they only get the big pen, and they get to sleep in there, eat in there, water in there, all that. That could be weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever. And then we'll take the door off of the pen. That's it. The lower door, we'll take it off, or even both, the top and whatever. So now they'll one day notice oh, we could leave, but we don't want to leave. This is where
then they can also come right back in there.
Right.
And that's where their food and water will still be.
So they're their food and water will still be there. And we will never take that cage down. It's going to stay like that because it's not put in temporarily. And then, yes, a goat will breed in a cage at some point. Now, birth out in a cage. It'll be the cage match over there, which I can take the top door down, so the person can throw us towels and suction and whatever. But other than that, that cage can be used if we ever want to raise turkeys someday. Or you guys, I could hear it now. Aaron bought 2 turkeys for Thanksgiving, and we can hear them in the corner of the barn for 8 months. Yeah. My point is we could use that cage for whatever we want moving forward down the road. We want to raise out more chickens. I don't have to do it in the garage. There's so many uses for that pen now. Right. It's actually kind of exciting. So once the cats move out completely and they don't even eat in there anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could see the turkey thing. That would be hilarious. These guys would listen to. Yeah. Okay. We're done now.
Yeah.
It's hot. And Stella just laid on me. It's even hotter.
Now it's really hot.
It's really hot.
Because you spilled all that water down the front of you.
Oh, stop. I didn't spill any water.
Nice.
Oh, sharing.
With what? Your shirt?
Stella.
She wasn't here at the time.
She still enjoyed it. Okay. It's time to go. Thank you again for watching every day. Even if you don't watch every day, that's fine. I get it. I have YouTube people that I watch. Daniel, for example, or the Arms family. I don't watch every video he posts.
I watch none of your videos.
Most, every other maybe or something. I don't know. There are a bunch of YouTubers that I do watch every video they post, but they post once a week, So I get it. I go every day. You don't have to watch every day. Usually I repeat myself on purpose for those that don't watch every day. So that's it. We're out of here. I don't know when we'll do this again, because it is still summer, and we decided to take the weekend off from the boat and figure out what's going on from here. That's it. Yeah. Really excited about coffee. It's like a new baby for me. It's like a new child. It's this is what she gets all creative and excited about the goats. I get excited about okay, last one.
Oh boy.
We haven't even, this is how ADD my brain is, and she has to reel me in. Mm-hmm. We're launching coffee in about 20 something days, 27, 28 days, right? We're at a farmer's market today, and I start talking to somebody about launching a 4th version of Swanky sauce. And she's like, oh my God,
you just have to let him have his conversations.
Yep.
Just let him have it.
And don't get me wrong.
And you're sitting here that's not happening.
Yeah,
I'm sitting over here not happening, but he's gonna talk.
This 4th version of Swanky sauce was one of her favorites, 5 years ago, that you guys have never even heard of or seen of or whatever. But we might find a way to do it. And I'm like, okay, you can sit on the back burner for now because coffee's now, and then we'll get coffee. So this is the way entrepreneurs call it, right? When you start a business, your business is your baby. And at some point, your baby learns how to take a shit on his own and like eat on his own. And then the business gets to a point where they're like a teenager and they might need a little guidance and your business grows. Right now, coffee is like not even born yet, right? Like it hasn't been birthed out. It's in the incubator.
We shared the birthing announcement, though.
Yeah, we shared the birthing announcement. We know,
or like, you know, the gender reveal.
Right, whatever.
Revealing all of
and then it'll be born, and it'll become like lip balm at some point where it's so. Angie has pretty much taken over lip balm for us. Like you come up with like, hey, this is the flavors we need. I'm gonna go design the labels. Blah blah blah. Can you guys make, 200 tubes of lip balm? Like,
no, not on the new ones.
Not on the new ones. You're right. If it's new, you're on it. If it's repeated, the point is the business will get to a point, just like a child, that they can kind of operate and grow on their own. And I'm like, okay, coffee's next. And then a year from now, we might be able to bring in, after who we've just met today, Swanky Sauce number 4, which we've already tested. It's amazing. Mm-hmm. But like, where do we go from here? And that's what I love about business. It's like,
yeah,
it allows my ADD style brain to continue to operate. And if at some point we got to shut something down, like 5, 6, 7 years from now, you're like, guys, let's stop. Lip balm, let's not do it. We're selling 100 tubes a year. It's not worth it. And we shut it down. Not like you would stop caring for a child. Whatever. You can't use that analogy.
Oh, but you can. 18 years in, I'm done.
18 years in, I'm done with that one. Right. Yeah. But yeah, so it's funny. Liz is like, okay, let them think, whatever, but yeah, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
She's a poop, LOL. But yeah, at some point, they learn how to do it. Uh-oh. Tyler's calling me. Mm-hmm. Yes, Tyler? And are you chasing them? Okay, guys, we got to go. 2 goats just got out. Bye-bye. See ya.